Good morning. Before we begin today's program, I would like to make a few announcements. Students and parents are requested to be seated in the places earmarked for them. Kindly keep your mobile phones in silent mode. Students are also requested to keep your aprons or white coats ready. The white coats are to be opened and worn only during the white coat ceremony. Please do not wear them now. MedOrient is being telecasted live on YouTube channel, so you could share this link with your friends and relatives who would want to watch it live. We'll wait for a couple of minutes before we begin today's program. Thank you. For those who were not there yesterday, this is the QR code for the welcome kit that we have shared for students. Feel free to scan this QR code and download it on your phones. QR code. Twinkling eyes, youthful smiles, beaming parents across the room says it all. A dream come true. Today marks the beginning of an incredible journey filled with opportunities, growth, and endless possibilities. As you embark on this path, cherish each moment to learn, connect, and make a difference in the world of medicine. A very good morning to one and all. We, the management, staff, and students of Kasturba Medical College, Manipal, a flagship institution of Manipal Academy of Higher Education, an institution of eminence, extend a warm and affectionate welcome to the MBBS batch of 2025-26. On this note, I, Dr. Chaitra R. Rao from the Department of Community Medicine, welcome you all to MedOrient 2025-26. This day hallmarks the beginning of your journey at Kasturba Medical College, Manipal. Embrace this journey with open hearts and curious minds. The entire KMC community is here to support you in every step. To mark the auspicious beginning and invoke the blessings of Almighty, we have an exclusive Mohan Veena recital by our third-year medical student, Mr. Adhyatma Trivedi. I request you to kindly remain seated during the invocation. Thank you, Adhyatma, for the wonderful rendition. Light dispels darkness. Let the beautiful tradition of lighting the lamp dispel ignorance and guide us towards a future filled with discovery and healing. We request Dr. Anil K. Bhatt, Dean KMC Manipal, to escort the dignitaries to the dais to light the lamp and inaugurate the program. Today's program will be presided by Dr. H.S. Ballal, Honorable Pro-Chancellor of Manipal Academy of Higher Education, the Chief Guest, Dr. Sharad K. Rao, Pro-Vice Chancellor Health Sciences, Mahe, Manipal, Dr. Avinash Shetty, Medical Superintendent, Kasturba Hospital. I also request two students from the 2025 batch, Mr. Salman Ali and Ms. Srimeda Tatigola, to join the dignitaries on the stage for lighting the lamp. Thank you, sirs, and the students. Now, we offer floral tribute to our founder, Dr. T.M.A. Pai. Dear students, we at KMC recognize and appreciate your efforts in choosing the medical profession, and we shall make all efforts to ensure students have an enriching and fulfilling journey. We request Dr. Anil K. Bhatt, Dean Kasturba Medical College, Manipal, to provide an overview of the college and the academic program.
Good morning, one and all. On behalf of Kasturba Medical College, Manipal, I take great pleasure in welcoming the new batch of MBBS 2025, who are the reason we are here this morning. And above all, a very warm welcome to the proud parents gathered here today. Today is not just another day in the academic calendar. It's the day you, our new students, begin your journey into one of the most noble professions on this earth. And it is the day your parents watch with pride and perhaps a little bit of nervousness as you take your first steps into the life of service, learning, and discovery. As a dean and as someone who has walked into this very campus as a student, myself, it is both my duty and my privilege to extend a warm regards and appreciation to all the parents for entrusting us with this responsibility. The institution gets tremendous support from the management and the university. And this is evident by the presence of our chief guest, Dr. Sharad K. Rao, Pro-Vice Chancellor, Health Sciences, Manipal Academy of Higher Education. A very warm welcome to you, sir. Our guest of honor, Dr. Avinash Shetty, Medical Superintendent of Kasturba Hospital, is always our partner for all our institutional activities. A gracious welcome to you, sir. We are equally privileged to be presided over by Dr. H.S. Ballal, Pro-Chancellor Mahe, whose presence inspires us at every step we take in this institution. A respectful welcome to you, sir. I also extend a very warm welcome to all the heads of the departments, heads of the institutions, distinguished faculty members, and guests. Kasturba Medical College, Manipal, was founded in 1953 by Dr. T.M. Pai and is an eloquent testimony to the vision and motivation of a founder as India's first private self-financed medical college. What began as one man's vision on a barren hill today is a globally recognized institution consistently ranked among the top 10 in India. KMC Manipal, apart from MBBS, offers 65 courses in postgraduate, super specialty, integrated PhD, and fellowship programs in various medicine disciplines. Our alumni lead hospitals, universities, and research institutes across the continents. As Dr. Pai believed, education is the best investment you can make, not in the buildings or in machines, but in people. Today, the investment is you. Medicine is challenging, not only an easy path. There will be long nights and heavy textbooks, but there will always be moments of triumph when your knowledge heals, and when a patient calls you doctor, that is when you realize the true meaning of this profession. But then you will see that KMC Manipal is more than classrooms and hospitals. It is a complete ecosystem. You have a world-class lab facilities and simulation centers. You just walked into this college yesterday when you started reporting for the course itself. And you enter your first year with the subjects of anatomy, biochemistry, and physiology, where you would see such world-class lab facilities, simulation centers, one of the largest and finest anatomy and pathology museums in Asia, and with more than 10,000 visitors per year and 3,000 specimens. Air-conditioned dissection hall facilities, entire block of air-conditioned classrooms, which is called Interact, fully equipped with Wi-Fi. KMC Health Science Library, one of the largest in Asia for an education institution, spread over 1.5 lakh square meters, spanning 5 levels, accommodating 1,300 students at a time, with databases from across the world and an annual subscription budget of more than 5 crores. So this is where you would see this. Marina Sports Complex is state-of-the-art indoor multipurpose stadium with 6 levels, centrally air-conditioned and covering about 1.5 lakh square feet. You have all the facilities to be fit and young and energetic in these sports complex. You also have outdoor sports, indoor sports, spanning a lot of sports facilities, including cricket, football, hockey fields, along with also meditation and yoga centers and cultural activities and events which happen throughout the year. So these are some of the facilities you would see. I'm sure some of you visited yesterday and some of you visit today during our campus tours. And these are the outdoor facilities available for all of you. Cultural activities happen throughout the year. Kasturba Hospital attached to KMC, where you will receive clinical training. From a 150-bedded hospital, it is going to more than 2,200 beds. Food courts, hostels that make student life comfortable and holistic. And there are more than 18 student clubs, which you will see in the second floor today. The stalls have been put up. You will see the student activities of KMC, of your seniors, through the student club. For the parents, I wish to reassure you, your children's welfare is our top priority. We have zero tolerance for ragging and strict anti-ragging committees in place. We have policies against substance abuse and strong mental health support systems. We have mentoring programs, so every student always has someone to guide them. And the Dean's Committee and the team are always accessible. Most of you have met our associate deans, and some of you have met me yesterday and day before yesterday, and this team will always be there with you for any support and guidance. You're not sending your child away, you're expanding your family to include KMC. We want to emphasize that this journey is a shared responsibility. We are committed to providing the right environment, guidance, and opportunities. However, success also depends on the students' dedication and the family's support and cooperation. And to our students, medicine is vast and opportunities are limitless. You can do research, publish even in your undergraduate years. You can participate in international electives and collaborations with some of the best universities around the world. Our institution has strong linkages with national and international universities, including the US and Canada, where our students can opt for electives in the second and third years. Ours is the only medical college in the country recognized for the American New York State Education Program. We have around 30 partner universities outside the US, and we host students from around the world. Each year, the top 5 students are selected from MAHE and fully sponsored by MAHE to go abroad for electives. And this is where you can dream big, and we will give you the wings. Dear students, the white coat which you will wear today is not just a fabric, it's more than a fabric. It carries the hopes of your parents and the sacrifices and the patients also. Wear it with humility, integrity, and compassion. As Hippocrates said, wherever the art of medicine is loved, there is also a love for humanity. We wish to see you on the convocation day at the shortest time possible to receive your degree certificates. So welcome to Manipal again, welcome to KMC Manipal, and welcome home. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the warm welcome. We also warmly welcome you to the program. Now, we proceed towards the release of the student handbook. This is a repository of all essential information for a first-year medical undergraduate at Kasturba Medical College, Manipal. We request Dr. Avinash Shetty, Medical Superintendent, Kasturba Hospital, to release the student handbook. We also request all the dignitaries on the dais to join for the release. Thank you, sir. Our chief guest for today's Med Orient is Dr. Sharath K. Rao, Pro Vice Chancellor, Health Sciences, MAHE, Manipal. Under his able administrative support and guidance, we have been able to scale new heights and continue to do so. Respected sir, we kindly request you to address the gathering.
Thank you, Chaitra. Dignitaries on the dais, esteemed faculty members, proud parents, and my dear students, the future doctors, welcome to Kasturba Medical College, Manipal. It's my proud privilege and honor to address you on this particular day where is the beginning of challenging, demanding, exciting, and an ultimately rewarding journey of your life, medical education. To the proud parents, congratulations. It is your achievement as it is your child's achievement. You have guided, nurtured, and supported all the challenges your child has faced. And now you have transformed this child to us so that we can help the child to grow into a healer, leader, and a change maker in this world. To the students, an adventurous journey begins now. Your journey is like a roller coaster. Boarding a roller coaster, you are little bit of nervous, little bit excited. You don't know what is going to come next. And that is what medical journey is. But good news is that we have strapped you with safety. And there may be unexpected turns, wild loops, and it is exciting. This journey is exciting. You are in a level playing field. You might have come from any part of the world. You might have got any amount of marks. You might have graduated from any school. But when you are here, you are in the same boat. You start afresh. And this is a journey where everything is Greek and Latin. If you look at medicine, most of the words are Greek and Latin only. Three most important things are going to happen to you when you are in the campus. You are maturing as an adolescent, from an adolescent to an adult. You are trying to be independent. And the most important, you are embracing a profession which will be there with you throughout your life. And this journey is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Being in the clinical field, being a surgeon, teacher, researcher, and an administrator, few insights on your journey. There are 5 important pillars of health science. All start with C: communication, collaboration, compassion, critical and creative thinking, and finally, continuous lifelong learning. And these are the principles on which health science is built. Communication is the heart of medicine. You need to be a very good communicator, whether it is with the patient, whether you are with your colleagues, with your teachers, with your superiors or subordinates. And this communication is not always verbal. It can be non-verbal, written, visual, or even a body language. In your life, you need to not only tackle the patient, but also their families, their relatives, their friends and neighbors, which pose you challenge. Second most important pillar of health science is collaboration. Collaboration is teamwork. And this teamwork will make your dream successful. Health science is like a Swiss knife. Each one has got its own role to play. If you have played a team game, you will know how to respect the seniors in the team, how to handhold the juniors in the team, how to win the game as a team, and when you lose, how to prepare as a team and come back and play. This is exactly what happens in health science. The third pillar is compassion. You have to put yourself in somebody else's shoe every time. Compassion and empathy is the soul of health science. Personally, for you as a doctor, critical thinking and creative thinking are very important. Critical thinking is when a patient comes to you with a headache, you should be able to differentiate whether it is sleepless headache or a headache where you have to call the ambulance because in few minutes he is going to get a stroke. That is critical thinking. You need to be creative. Creative thinking is a part of medical students' life. You have to question the status quo. You have to ask why, how, when, where, to whatever you learn. And it's also important in whatever you do, you try to make it better, faster, easier, and cheaper next time you do it. And that is innovation. And that opens the door for innovation. The last pillar is continuous lifelong learning. Everything changes so fast in medicine. What you learn today may not be true after 2 years. It is important that you keep learning new things. AI, robotics invading the medical field. Every day there is a change. You need to unlearn and relearn. You need to upskill and reskill yourself every time. And that is the life of a doctor. If you look at the present day education, a lot of new terms are used, like peer learning, self-directed learning. If you go 5,000 years back, in a shloka in the Mahabharata, Udyoga Parva, you will get Acharyat Padam Adatte, Padam Shishya Sumedayat, Padam Saha Brahmacharinyaha, Padam Kalakramena. What does it mean? This is how a student learns. 1/4 from the teacher. 1/4 Swamedayat, self-directed learning. 1/4 Saha Brahmacharinyaha, that means peer learning. We have just coined new words to a 5,000-year-old shloka. And Padam Kalakramena, 1/4 lifelong learning. We forgot this for last 5,000 years. Success and failure are not opposite to each other in medicine. They complement each other. Every time you fail, that's a building block for your success. That's a stepping stone for your success. If you know, Thomas Alva Edison failed 10,000 times before he invented a light bulb. When asked, he said, "I did not fail. I discovered 10,000 methods which will not work." For him, fail, F-A-I-L, is first attempt in learning. And these failures, up and downs, will occur throughout your life. Finally, I end with a story. 4 high school mates, after they finish their graduation, 6 or 7 years later, met the high school teacher. Each one has been a different professional. The teacher asked how long it will take to own BMW. The doctor said, "If I have a good practice, in an year." The other one was an engineer. He said, "I am in a good software company, maybe 2 years." The third one, who was an MBA, he said, "If the market is up, in 3 years of time, I'll get a BMW." The last one was an architect from Cornell University. And he said, maybe 8 to 9 years. So the teacher asked, why 8 to 9 years? He said, BMW is a big company. And that person was Ratan Tata. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for the words of encouragement and support. Now we proceed to the defining moment in your medical career, the white coat ceremony. This esteemed tradition signifies your formal induction into the medical profession and embodies your commitment to the principles of patient care, professionalism, and ethical practice. As you don your white coats today, you not only embrace the responsibilities of a future physician, but also the trust placed in you by your future patients. We request Dr. Ranjita S. Shetty, Associate Dean KMC Manipal, to lead the white coat ceremony and Charaka Shapath. Yeah.
A very good morning to all the dignitaries on the dais, invited guests, esteemed faculty members, dear students, their proud parents and family members. So today, on behalf of Kasturba Medical College, Manipal, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome our incoming batch of MBBS students to this orientation program, the MedOrient 2025. At the outset, I would like to extend my heartfelt congratulations to our brilliant students. Students, this is a remarkable achievement, and the journey you are embarking upon today will be one of both immense learning and personal growth. Dear parents, you should be proud of the determination and dedication your children have shown to reach this milestone. Their hard work, perseverance, and passion for medicine have brought them here today, and this moment is a reflection of your unwavering support and belief in them. Today, is a moment of pride and significance as you are all here for oath-taking ceremony. As you all know, from ancient times, medicine has been more than a profession. It has been a noble calling, guided by ethics, compassion, and responsibility. So one of the earliest and most enduring codes of medical ethics is the Hippocratic Oath, dating back to ancient Greece in the 5th century BCE. For centuries, medical graduates across the world have been taking this oath, pledging to practice medicine with integrity, to place patients' welfare above personal gain, to respect confidentiality, and to serve humanity with compassion. In India, we are fortunate to also have our own rich tradition of medical ethics, drawn from the Charaka Samhita, one of the foundational texts of Indian medicine, which outlines the Charaka Shapath. So this pledge emphasizes humility, discipline, respect for teachers, compassion for patients, self-restraint, and unwavering commitment to the service of humanity. These timeless values resonate strongly with our cultural ethos while aligning with the universal medical ethics. And we also have a momentous and meaningful occasion as we assemble here for the most awaited white coat ceremony. Dear students, this ceremony marks a significant transition in your lives. Today, you begin your journey into the noble profession of medicine, a path that requires knowledge, compassion, humility, and unwavering commitment to serve humanity. So the white coat ceremony, a time-honored tradition in the medical profession, was first introduced in 1993 at the Columbia University College of Physicians and Surgeons. So the idea behind this ceremony was to mark the transition of students' academic journey, symbolizing their entry into the world of medicine with a commitment to professionalism, empathy, and ethical practice. Over time, this ceremony has become a cornerstone of medical education worldwide, reminding future doctors that the pursuit of knowledge must always be accompanied by a deep sense of compassion and responsibility towards their patients. So with this background, I now invite all students to raise and wear your white coats. Now, as I read aloud the Charaka Shapath, which is displayed on the screen, I kindly ask everyone to repeat the oath after me, line by line. Kindly keep your right hand raised while reciting the oath. During the period of study, I shall live a life of self-control, piety and discipline, submitting myself to my teachers with complete dedicated feeling. I shall act like a son or daughter for his or her welfare and happiness. My action shall be guarded, service-oriented, and free from indiscipline and envy. In my dealings, I shall be patient, obedient, humble, constantly contemplative and calm. I shall aim my full efforts and ability towards the desired goal of my Guru. As a physician, in order to gain success and fame and earn money, I shall always use my knowledge for the welfare of living mankind. I shall always be ready to help patients, even when I am extremely busy and tired. I shall not harm any patient for the sake of money or selfish gain, nor shall I entertain a desire for or men or wealth. Immorality should not figure even in my thoughts. My dress ought to be decent yet impressive. And my personality, confidence inspiring. I shall always use appropriate, pleasant, truthful, beneficial, and polite words. And using my past experience, I shall act keeping in mind the time and place. I shall constantly endeavor to accomplish the newest development of knowledge. I shall examine a female patient only in the presence of an attender. When examining a patient, my discretion, attention, and senses should be concentrated on the cure of the disease. I shall not make propaganda about the confidential matters regarding patients and their family. Though an authority, I shall not display my knowledge egoistically, as by it, even near ones may feel insulted. You may lower your hand and please be seated. Thank you. So I urge you all to carry these values in your hearts and actions and to uphold the dignity of this noble profession in every step of your journey. So once again, we welcome you with pride and hope into the medical fraternity. May your journey be guided by wisdom, compassion, and resilience. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Now, we move on to the next part of the program. Over the years, our institution has grown tremendously under the able leadership of our Honorable Pro-Chancellor, Dr. H.S. Ballal. The three essential qualities of leadership, integrity, insight, and inclusiveness that Sir personifies have continually encouraged us to achieve greater heights. We look forward to hearing his insight and words of wisdom as we embark on this new journey. Please join me in welcoming Dr. H.S. Ballal.
Our Pro-Chancellor of Health Sciences, Dr. Sharat Rao, the boss of this college, Dean Anil Bhatt, Dr. Avinash Shetty, who will take care of your health during your stay here in Manipal. We have our former Dean, Dr. Padmaraj Hegde, urologist of great repute, Associate Deans, other faculty members of Kasturba Medical College, Manipal, my dear students and the parents of this who are going to join the portals of this institution. My dear students, you should consider yourself lucky to have got admission to a very reputed medical college in this country. Chaitra has already said, our MC, that it is a flagship of our university. Mahe is one of the top universities in the country, ranked number 3 in NIRF, National Institutional Ranking Framework. And Kasturba Medical College, we consider it as the flagship, a precious jewel in the crown of Mahe. So you should consider yourself very lucky to have got admission into this great institution. And also, I would like to thank the parents of the students who are joining the institution for choosing Kasturba Medical College, Manipal as the destination for doing their medical studies. And I promise you, on behalf of the entire fraternity of this institution, that we will take care of your children like our own children. There should be no problem at all. The do's and don'ts during your study already our Pro-Vice Chancellor as well as the Dean have mentioned, and I'm sure you will obey all those or stick to those instructions that have been given to you. Now, it is very important that you should know the history of this medical college. Our founder, the late Dr. T.M.A. Pai, who was a visionary, who always used to think much ahead of his time. He was 3 in 1. He was a medical doctor, did his MBBS from Madras Medical College, because those days we were under Madras province. And also, he was a banker, founder of Syndicate Bank, which I'm sure you are aware, which has merged with Canara Bank now, and an educationist, because he always used to say there are 3 ills in this society: ill health, illiteracy, and poverty. He was of the opinion that if you take care of illiteracy and ill health, poverty will automatically go. That's why, to take care of this illiteracy, he started all these educational institutions under the banner of Academy of General Education in the year 1942. To take care of ill health, he started the first self-financing medical college in this country in the year 1953. That is this college, Kasturba Medical College, Manipal, to take care of the health. So that's why today in undivided South Canara district, our literacy rate is almost 100% and our health indices are very good. That is infant mortality rate, child dying during birth or soon after birth, maternal mortality rate are very, very low comparable to the Western standards. That's why people prefer to join this. The other day, I met Sudhamurthy in one of the programs at Krishnamat here in Udupi. She was asking me, see, the people of undivided South Canara, that is, we are very intelligent. What is the reason, she said. I said, I really do not know the reason, but I feel it is because of the literacy as well as the health indices that are great in this district. That's why we feel we are more wiser than the other districts of this state, which I feel is a fact. So you should consider yourself lucky to have got these admissions. Ours was the 29th medical college to be started in this country. Today, we have more than 700 medical colleges in this country. I'm very happy and proud to say that our medical college, that is KMC Manipal, is consistently ranked within the top 10 medical colleges for more than 3 decades now. I always say reaching the top is difficult, but to remain in that position is still more difficult. I strongly feel it is mainly because of the quality of the faculty and the administrators and the students, because in Mahe or in KMC, any institution that comes under Mahe, we have no other criteria of admission other than merit, merit, and merit only. That we feel is one of the main reasons for the high quality education and the top ranks that we are maintaining. Infrastructure is very important, but more than the infrastructure, it is the quality of the students and the faculty that are important. So I would like to compliment all the faculty members of this great medical college for keeping up this very, very high standard. Kasturba Medical College, you have joined now, and during the next 4 years, my dear students, one of the main things is don't take extra time. You should finish your the duration course within the 4.5 years, which is the duration of the course. Because you are spending the hard-earned money of your parents. In India, unlike the Western world, even the professional education is managed or financed by the parents. So you are spending the hard-earned money of parents, so don't waste it. Finish the course within the shortest possible time, that is 4.5 years. That does not mean you should become bookworms. You should involve yourself in co-curricular and extracurricular activities. Details of that our Dean, Anil Bhatt, has already mentioned. So we have enough and more facilities for co-curricular and extracurricular activities. Utilize that. We have our cultural coordination chairperson, Nilama Shobha Kamath, who is taking care of all your cultural activities. In April next year, we are going to have Utsav of our university, and for which all the students of not only Manipal, Mangalore, and all the other campuses in India and abroad. We have 2 campuses outside the country, one in Dubai and one in Malaysia, and also in the Caribbean island, Antigua. All those students will come and participate in that event. I expect our new students who have joined this institution also to participate in those events, because we strongly feel associating yourself with co-cultural and extracurricular activities along with academic activities will help in the overall development of your personality. So my dear students, you have joined a very, very prestigious institution, Kasturba Medical College, Manipal, one of the top institutions in the country. And I should thank the parents of the students who are joining for thinking of Manipal as the destination for their students. And we will take care of your students like our own children, and their performances will be monitored, will be informed to you very frequently, maybe once in 6 months or so. So don't worry about it, we will take care of them. But my dear students, as I told you once, as I stressed earlier, you must concentrate on education, finish the studies within the shortest time, but involve yourself in co-curricular and extracurricular activities also. So on the 17th of this month, we celebrated the 90th birthday of our Chancellor, Dr. Ramdas Pai, which is a very, very important milestone. See, though Dr. T.M.A. Pai was the founder of Manipal Group of Institutions, during his lifetime, the Manipal activities, Manipal Group activities, as far as education and healthcare are concerned, was restricted to Manipal and Mangalore. But after Ramdas Pai took over in the year 1979, after the death of his father, because one of the dreams of his father, Dr. T.M.A. Pai, was to have a university for Manipal Group of Institutions, which he was not able to fulfill because he died in the year 1979. Dr. Ramdas Pai not only fulfilled the dream of his father, we got a university status in the year 1993, deemed university, and today we are ranked as the Institution of Eminence, IOE status given by the Education Ministry of Government of India in the year 2020. We have more than 1,300 universities in this country. First, they gave only 6 universities this IOE, Institution of Eminence, 3 from the private sector and 3 from the government sector. And we were one amongst the private sector, which is a very, very prestigious thing. And this year, we got the NIRF rank 3 in the country. And those who are above us are, one is Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, and the other one is Jawaharlal Nehru University, Delhi. These are all government institutions. You know, government universities, institutions have head start over private institutions because they get a lot of money from the government. But we are a self-financing university. We do not get too much of grants from the government, but still we were able to reach that position, which is incredible. And I would like to compliment our Vice Chancellor and all the faculty members and the institutions who are responsible for this. See, reaching the top is difficult, as I said. I'm sure we will hold on to that, and not only hold on to that, we will try to move up the ladder. So with these few words, once again, my dear students, congratulations to you on getting admission to this prestigious institution. Live up to our expectations. Don't spend more than 4.5 years. I would once again like to thank the parents for choosing Manipal as the destination for their children for doing MBBS here in Manipal. With these few words, I wish you all the best, my dear students. Wish you a happy stay here in Manipal. Take the maximum advantage of educational, curricular, as well as extracurricular activities and spend quality time here in Manipal. All the best. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the kind words of encouragement. Gratitude and appreciation goes a long way. With this note, I request Dr. Vinod Nayak, Associate Dean, KMC Manipal, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you so much. A very, very good morning to everyone present here. I'm sure today is a momentous day in the lives of all of you achievers. A new family has been born today at KMC Manipal, and you students have joined the tradition which is going to span over decades. So with a great sense of pride, I would like to thank all the freshers and their proud parents who have chosen Manipal as the preferred destination for their professional journey. Welcome to Manipal and thank you so much. I would also like to thank Dr. Sharath K. Rao, our chief guest for today, for gracing this occasion, and I'm sure his words of wisdom have inspired all the new entrants today. Thank you so much, sir. Heartfelt gratitude to our Pro-Chancellor, Dr. H.S. Balal, for his esteemed presence and presiding over today's program. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I would like to thank Dr. Avinash Shetty, the medical superintendent, who will be responsible for aligning your academics with the hospital services. Thank you, sir, for releasing the handbook as well. Thank you. I would like to thank Dr. Anil K. Bhatt, the Dean of KMC Manipal, for welcoming the gathering and meticulously overseeing this orientation program. Thank you so much, sir. I would like to thank all the invitees, the heads of departments, the faculty, the resource persons who are going to engage all of you students over the next few days. Your presence adds a lot of significance to this program. Thank you. Thank you so much. A big shout out to our student council, Medha Chatterjee and her team, for joining hands with us and welcoming all of you students. Thank you. I would like to thank the Office of the Dean for their coordinated efforts in implementing this program. Thank you so much. I would also like to thank Adhyatma, our student, for his beautiful rendition of the Mohan Veena today, and also our MC, Dr. Chaitra K. Rao, for taking us through this program. Thank you. Thank you so much. Finally, I would like to thank our Dean's Committee, the Associate Deans, Dr. Naveen Salins, Dr. S.S. Prasad, and Dr. Ranjita Shetty for their coordinated efforts. Thank you. Thanks so much. Finally, I would like to thank each and everyone who's been responsible for the success of this program. Thank you, and we look forward to a very fruitful academic journey for all the MBBS students of the batch 2025-26. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We now come to the end of the inaugural function. We request the parents and students to be seated. The forenoon sessions will begin shortly. Thank you, sir. I request the parents and the students to be seated. We will continue with our program. Kindly be seated. Now we have our students talking to you about how their journey in Manipal has been. So we begin with peer mentoring to excel in academics. Peer mentoring is a powerful tool that can enhance your learning experience, foster a sense of community, and ultimately lead to academic excellence, as mentioned by our dignitaries as well. To share her insights on this valuable approach, I am pleased to invite our gold medalist student, Ms. Isha Tripathi, to the stage.
Good morning, respected dignitaries, professors, parents, and my dear friends. It is a privilege to speak to you today about academics at KMC Manipal and how we, as students, can make the most of it. The MBBS curriculum is vast, no doubt, and sometimes intimidating. But with the right approach, it becomes an incredibly rewarding experience. In the first year, you will encounter 3 foundational subjects: anatomy, biochemistry, and physiology. They are the base upon which everything else in medicine stands. And the stronger you make them now, the easier it becomes to build in the years ahead. The second year introduces pathology, pharmacology, and microbiology, which form a bridge between theory and clinical practice. By the third and final year, the curriculum opens into a wide array of clinical subjects where all the puzzle pieces finally begin to fit together. At every stage, what feels overwhelming at first eventually transforms into clarity if you keep at it with patience. One of the best parts of studying at KMC is the culture of collaboration. Whether it is study groups with your batchmates, collaboration with seniors, or the guidance of faculty, you are never truly alone in this journey. Group study sessions often turn difficult topics into lively discussions and make learning enjoyable. Our professors and staff mentors are very approachable and willing to guide us at every step, something which is a great strength of this institution. Of course, the heart of success in MBBS lies in consistency. Motivation can fade in and out, but discipline carries you forward. Even small, steady efforts matter. On some days, just 30 minutes of focused study or even attentive participation in the class can make all the difference. What counts is not the hours you log in, but the understanding you build. Attendance, too, should never be taken lightly. Classes, small group discussion, skill labs, bedside teachings are not just formalities, they are opportunities to learn actively. Every session you attend, whether lecture, clinical posting, or lab practice, it's a step towards building the doctor you aspire to become one day. In the end, what the journey demands is a balance of patience, discipline, and collaboration. Make time to study, make time to learn with others, and make time for yourself too. Find what works for you and give your best in every aspect. And remember, no one expects you to know everything on day one. Medicine is learned step by step, not overnight. Sometimes you will feel like a sprint, sometimes like a marathon, and sometimes just like dragging your feet. But what matters is you keep moving forward. So don't stress too much. Don't compare yourself with others. And don't forget to laugh along the way. Because at the end of the day, we are not just here to pass exams. We are here to become doctors who care. And trust me, if you can survive MBBS with sincerity, teamwork, and a sense of humor, you can survive just about anything. Thank you and all the very best.
Thank you, Ishita. As she has rightly mentioned, you laugh along the way, I think is something very important that you need to remember. Now, excelling in sports not only contributes to personal development, but also enhances teamwork and leadership skills. To discuss the importance of peer mentoring in sports, I invite Mr. Tanish Joshi to the stage.
Okay, good morning, everyone. First of all, congratulations on clearing your NEET phase. I know it's a tough time. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to all the faculty here, to the students and the parents. Today, I'll be talking about sports in KMC and how sports and medicine go hand in hand. So these are the sports we have got available at KMC. This list is not exhaustive. We've got more sports, but these are the sports that we have got strong teams in. The most important thing that I'd like to put forward here is overcoming your fear and then growth. A lot of you freshers often hesitate to participate in sports, to show up for tryouts because you feel that you're just not good enough. All of us, including your seniors, have been through this NEET phase, and we know that you haven't touched sports in the past 2, 3, or maybe more years. And we're always open to newcomers, even if you want to learn these sports. The sports culture here is very vibrant, and the facilities that you get in this college and at the university level are very, very good. And I'd like to tell you guys that don't shy away from these. Go up and take any opportunities that we throw away at you. This is how the sports calendar will look for you over the next year. We'll start with Verve, which is an inter-batch competition. Invictus, which is an inter-college fest that is student organized. Inter-Mahe, which is the flagship event for the university, which is an intra-college event among the institutes of Mahe. Some informal leagues that we hold, and Sportsquake, and a few marathons. Starting with Verve. Verve is our inter-batch tournament that we host usually a month before Invictus. Verve will function primarily as the team selection process for Invictus. So in this, you'll be participating against your seniors and even interns. So this gives you an excellent opportunity, even if you're not in the college team, to be part of a team, and so that you can perform. And we can look you up and then take you into the college team. Next up is Invictus. Invictus is the main fest, which it's not only a sports fest, it's also a literary and cultural fest, but sports is a big part of this. In this, it is one of the biggest fests in South India, and the competition is very, very strong. So we we want each of you to participate in Verve so that we can look what sports that you're really into. And if you've got any doubts, if you want to try out a new sports, you can reach out to me or any member of the sports committee. Here are some of the pictures of our teams winning different trophies, the cricket team, hockey. Next up is Inter-Mahe. Inter-Mahe, as I already mentioned, is a competition among the colleges of Mahe. The Inter-Mahe roster runs throughout the year, and you're in luck because we've delayed the table tennis, team selection process just for you guys. So if any girls are interested, you can fill up the form that is at the end. The Inter-Mahe team selection process usually takes place a month before the event, and you can reach out to any member of the committee to participate. Here is a picture of this year's Inter-Mahe trophies that we won. Next up, we've got leagues. So I understand that not all of you are very super competitive and not that serious about sports. So we host these small IPLs. We allow you guys to participate, and then we hold some IPL-style mock auctions where we divide you into teams and then host these small leagues. Here are some pictures of different leagues: the hockey league, cricket, the football. And then we've got the Outstation Fest that we hold each year, that we participate. These Outstation Fests we visit at different times. For instance, we visited AFMC Pune this time. Last year we went to Autumn Muse, and some of the other fests are mentioned here. Here is a picture of a contingent in silhouettes in AFMC this year with the picture of all the medals that we won. And this is what I want you guys to see. These fests and these teams serve as your core memories throughout your college life. some of the best memories that I've had in college is traveling with these group of people and discussing late night team strategies and all the fun times that we have at these tournaments. Other events that we host throughout the year, like bowling tournament, pool and snooker, a mental health awareness marathon, and even sports quick. Now, the most important to do is practice sessions during lunchtime. And that is what I want you guys to know, that each one of us here has 24 hours with us. And it's not, when you come into a medical college, something that I'd like to tell you is that it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. You need to focus on all aspects of your life. And I believe personal growth can only come through sports. You learn a lot of skills, team management, leadership qualities, and no senior here is going to tell you to sacrifice your studies to just participate in different sport activities. And as I've already mentioned, with the excellent facilities that you've got here, please don't shy away from these opportunities that are there for you. Next up, I'd like to introduce the sports committee. As the sports secretary, I head a committee of around 40 members. We are the people behind all these tournaments that I mentioned. We host these tournaments and we make sure that each and every one of you get the opportunity that is required. And if there's nothing you take away from my talk, this one thing, please do not shy away and do not let fear come in the way of you trying out new things in life. Just go for that swimming tryout, go run that 10-kilometer marathon. It's a new chapter in your life when you come to MBBS, and don't let your past fears hold you back here. Last up, I've just got this Google form here. You can scan this and enter whatever sport you're interested in or feel like you're very strong with. We can reach out to you whenever we hold tryouts. Especially for women's table tennis, we'll be hosting tryouts by this weekend only. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanishq. Isha and Tanishq have told you about academics and sports. So now we recognize that education also extends beyond academics. Co-curricular and cultural activities play a vital role in holistic development. To speak on this topic, I am delighted to invite Mr. Adhyatma Trivedi on the stage.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for inviting me on the stage. Kala naam grahana dev saubhagyam upjayate. Desh kalyo tvapekshayasam prayoga sambhevana va. Good fortune arises from mastering arts, but their proper application depends on time. Cultural Secretary of KMC Manipal. I'm also a MBBS here to give you a glimpse of something very close to my heart, the cultural and co-curricular life of KMC Manipal. So, college is about much more than classes and academics. It's about friendships, discovering talents, creating memories. And culturals are the stage where all of that comes alive. So, why do we need it? It promotes teamwork, which is very necessary when you're working as a doctor or in a team as well. Like when you are in an OT, you have a team of 5-6 people working together, and you have to build that teamwork and that synergy to work together. And it enhances creativity. You guys are creative. You can enhance yourself here and learn many new things. It will help you to reduce stress with all the stress that you get during academics and everything. It will help you in developing empathy and leadership skills. It will also help in building your confidence, communication, and maintain a healthy life balance with academics. So I would like to ask you guys, how many of you here have performed on stage before, be it singing, dancing, acting, or fashion? Just raise your hands. Okay, wow, that's great to see. Thank you. You can put your hands down. So we have a cultural committee of KMC Manipal. So we are a team of 33 people working together to host all the fest, and we host all the major KMC Fest and manage the cultural clubs. We collaborate with different departments and committees for small but meaningful events. We have collabed with the Pediatric Hematology Oncology Department of KMC Manipal to have an event on Childhood Cancer Awareness Week. We also organize open mics in which you can come, register, and showcase your talent. And we also provide various platforms where you can perform and express yourself. We represent KMC in inter-college fests and outstation fests as well. We are a vibrant community where every talent counts. Cultural gives you a chance to express yourselves and everything. And you can excel both academics and culturals. The best example is actress Sai Pallavi. I hope you guys know her. She's a actress and she also holds an MBBS degree. She did her MBBS from Tamil Nadu. Culturals aren't just about fun. The experience, skills, and the certificates you gain here also strengthen your CV and give you an edge in interviews, residency applications, and even exams like USMLE. Now I'll brief you guys about the cultural clubs that we have in KMC Manipal. First, we have Cadenza, the music club. So it is divided into band and vocals. In band, if you are an electric guitarist, if you are a bassist, if you are a drummer, I'm also an instrumentalist myself, and I'm a part of this club. You guys will have to you guys can audition for the club and you can perform in the band, KMC's official band. If you're a good vocalist, be it Western or Eastern, you can be a part of the team and represent KMC at various levels. Next, we have Agaz, the Dramatics Club. So they perform various street plays, mimes, mad ads, short film, and theater. So if you are into dramatics and expressing yourselves in that way, you can surely audition for Agaz. Next up, we have Cygnus, the Eastern Dance Club. So they also represent KMC at various levels. This is an Eastern Dance Club, and it also has people performing solo. So if you are a classically trained dancer or trained in Eastern, you can surely join this club. Then we have Phoenix, the Western Dance Club, which is same like Cygnus, but it handles the Western dance people. So it also includes solo dances and group performances, and they also represent KMC at various levels. Last but not the least, we have Purple Haze, the fashion club of KMC Manipal. They have events like Fashion Walk, which can be a group one or a solo one, and they also represent KMC at various levels. In short, if it's cultural and happening in KMC Manipal, we all are behind it. How to get involved and participate in stuff? Club will hold auditions. It will start by October midweek. This will be our first step to join and contribute actively. You can participate in events, practice and hone your skills through performances. Even if you're not in any club, if you don't get into any club even after the audition, you can take part in open events, verve, and fests. You can stay engaged, and over time, you can take on leadership roles and help organize events. So we have some fests happening in KMC Manipal. First off, it is verve, which is an inter-batch cultural competition. It also includes literary and sports. It's perfect for you guys as a big fest. It is a inter-batch competition, so you'll be competing against your senior batches as well. Then we have Invictus, which is the flagship inter-college fest of KMC Manipal. Then we have Utsav, which is inter-Mahe competition, which brings all the Mahe institution together here in KMC. Then we also go for Outstation Fest. The Outstation Fest for this year is yet to happen. So if you guys get into clubs, you will get an opportunity to go for Outstation Fest as well. We have been to Autumn Muse, which is St. John's Medical College, Bangalore, Adrenaline, Father Muller Medical College, Mangalore, and Spandan, Jipmer, Pondicherry. For the cultural committee, we have interviews every year, and we take around 15 people from the whole batch every year. And for the clubs, we hold auditions. If I tell you about our achievements from last 2-3 years, so we were the overall cultural champions in Autumn Muse last year. We were second runner-up in Utsav 2023. We were the best cultural contingent in Invictus 2024 and 2025. And we were the best performing team for Spandan 2023. So here's a QR. On your left is the official Instagram QR. You can scan and follow the cultural committee for more updates. And on the right is the QR for the WhatsApp group that we have for the cultural community, in which we keep all of you updated regarding anything cultural that's happening in KMC Manipal. You can scan and join it. We'll be having auditions soon, so hope to see you guys at the auditions. Thank you.
Thank you, Adhyatma. Now we talked about academics, we talked about sports, and we talked about co-curricular activities. In addition, we also identify and recognize the vital role of research that plays in the field of medicine. We invite Dr. Naveen Salins, Associate Dean, KMC Manipal, an exemplary researcher, to discuss the importance of fostering a research culture and how it can enhance medical education and practice.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Yeah. I spoke to 1/4 of you yesterday in my interactions from morning to evening. So, heartiest congratulations and welcome to Manipal. So, I, as the Associate Dean for Research today, will just introduce a very small snippet into research culture, importance, and what is done at Manipal. How many of you know yesterday the Prime Minister of India addressed the nation? Around 5 p.m., the Prime Minister of India addressed the nation. The key remark of his address, if you read any of the newspapers or even in the television, was the 3 words, Aan, Baan, Shaan. Anyone knows what does it mean? Anyone? No. It means self-respect, dignity, and pride. You know, with the changing geopolitical situation right now, there is an emphasis right now on research and development in the country. For us to have that self-respect, dignity, and pride. The books that you read, majority of them, are from the Western world. The papers that you read are published in the Western world. When do we have our own evidence? When do we have our own R&D that makes us self-sufficient, as our Prime Minister always says about Atmanirbhar Bharat and Vikasit Bharat, isn't it? So for that to happen, research is something that is very, very vital. So in the own words of the Prime Minister Modi, the time is ripe to redefine R&D as research for development of the nation. Science is, after all, but a means to a far greater end of making a difference in the lives of others, of furthering human progress and welfare. So whatever research that you do should have 2 goals. One is the transformative goal and the emancipatory goal. When I say transformative goal, that means it should transform the lives of people, transform the society that you live in. And emancipatory goal is to bring up the people, the vulnerable people out. And that's the development aspect. So research is something that is not an optional thing, but a very vital thing. If you close your eyes for a few seconds and imagine you will complete your internship in 2031. You are in 2025, September, you will complete your internship in 2031. The world will be very different from now. You know, most of the textbooks that you're reading are written in around 2020. So you're applying your knowledge almost 10 years older, you know. So how can you go ahead in the curve, you know, for 2031? You know, will only your textbook be sufficient? Only reading and passing your exam would be sufficient? Will your marks and grades be sufficient? Will your degree certificate be sufficient itself? You know, it's very important to reflect on these things. And if you see here, less than 10% of the medical students in India ever publish a research paper in their MBBS. Whereas in the high-income countries, it could be North America, Canada, Australia, 60% of the medical students publish papers in their MBBS, you know. So this is a cultural shift that what we want to achieve, you know, where a culture where research is not an optional extra, but it becomes a very integral part of the medical training, you know. As the future doctors, you have the ability to question, investigate, critically think, you know. Pro Vice Chancellor talk about critical thinking. It's very, very important. And to engage where you involve in addressing the health challenges. So your undergraduate education has 3 pillars. You know, we call it as education, service, and research. You gain knowledge in the classrooms. You attend classes, you read textbook, you gain knowledge. After some time, you go to your laboratories, you go to the clinic, and you apply knowledge. Okay, that is your large part of service. But most important thing, you gain knowledge which somebody else has created. You have applied knowledge which somebody else has created. When will you create knowledge? Research is creating new knowledge, not gaining the knowledge or applying somebody else's knowledge. So we want you as undergraduates to be creators of this new knowledge. And this is what we call as the lost pillar, you know. So we are so much entrenched in gaining knowledge, and sometimes in applying knowledge, we are lost in the creating this new knowledge, you know. We always focus till now up to 12th standard, you know, it's always on this 4 hours. You are reading your books, that information gets registered in your mind. You go to the exam hall, you recollect that information, you reproduce in your answer sheet, you know. This circle, and that's what has got you all along through your NEET exam, which has given you marks, you have passed. But it has to change, isn't it? You have moved a notch higher. And that's what the research gives, you know. It will help you to make you think critically. Understand, appraise knowledge, analyze something, interpret it, create something, writing academically, not reproducing something. So this whole domain of understanding will come through research. So this is a paper on USMLE. Yesterday, I had many students who were, whom I spoke, asked about what kind of support we have for USMLE at Manipal, you know. This is a very interesting paper which said that there are few aspects that are very important now. It's no more just USMLE scores, you know. The one most important thing that they look at along with your score is your research productivity, you know. So this paper tells that people or students studying in low-income country have less research productivity. They have challenges in publishing papers. They have challenges in research training. You know, that challenges are overcome at KMC Manipal. KMC Manipal has a very strong focus on undergraduate research. You know, we have an undergraduate research cell which guides the students, you know, and through this undergraduate research vertical, there are several research initiatives, you know, and there are several things that will help you to publish, you know. So the support that you get through this undergraduate cell, like you get research mentors allocated if you're interested in research. There's a student research forum who will help you and guide through that. There are a lot of orientation programs on research, monthly workshops, research motivation talks. There's a huge ICMR STS program where you go through a very structured process. You apply to the ICMR for these grants, you get these grants, and through these grants, you apply, do a research, publish a paper, and some of them are also supported through the institution. There are financial support to attend conference. There are a lot of incentives, you know. So this is one example where a first MBBS student published this paper in a very high quartile journal. He was in anatomy, along with his mentor, along with a clinician who is attached. They were able to publish a paper in the very beginning of this year. And this is the research culture that we want to inculcate in all of you. So why you should participate in research, you know? Your marks are limited to the piece of paper that you will have in your file. The rest of the world won't know unless you're applying for the job. The marks has moved to metrics. Now it's all about H-index. It's all about whether you have a publication, whether your name appears in the Google Scholar with a list of publication, you know. So the external world judges you not by your marks, but your metrics. You know, tomorrow you need to have a national standing or international standing. They know about you through your research work, you know, not what you studied, not what you practiced, you know. So your career progression, your ability to get future grants and funding, your entire practice changes when you're involved in research. It becomes very evidence-based. You become a better thinker. Your thinking becomes more critical. Your writing improves, you know. It's not just memorizing something and writing. You know, you write very creatively. You write very academically. And most important, you create new knowledge. And as I'm closing, I want to talk about the shining stars. There were 37 shining stars of your own cohort, just seniors by you by a year or two, who were very successful in getting this grant. And we hope that next year, when we speak to the next cohort of these people, we talk about you as those shining stars, you know, who have engaged in research, who have been granted by the Government of India through the Indian Council of Medical Research that they were successful, you know. So they were all engaged in this research. So with this brief note, I wish you all the best and welcome to Manipal again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for setting the stage and informing our students about the importance of research and how they can take it forward from the first year of medical school itself. Now, we understand that your journey does not end with the completion of MBBS. Exploring post-graduation and alternative career options is essential for the future. I request Dr. Anil K. Bhatt, Dean KMC Manipal, to enlighten us with alternative career options after MBBS.
ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಡ. So good morning again. We just heard that you will finish your internship in 2031, and what happens later is what I'll be talking about. So, which means to say that you will be not waiting till 2031 for you to start deciding what you want to do, right? You need to plan ahead, and a lot of times we start planning from year one, and that's the path you need to take, because that planning helps you to see where you want to go at the end of that 5 years, where it will lead you to in terms of which career path you want to go. The general ideology is most of you would end up with this, or the majority of you might end up with this of a post-graduation, right? You would do what's called as MS or MD based on whether you choose a surgical subject or a medical subject. Because over the years, things have changed. There's numerous opportunities which have opened up. Like when we studied, it was just about doing MS or MD. It was like you doing, the thought of either medical or a doctor or an engineer. But if you see today's world, there's so many career options. It's not just limited to just being doctors or engineers. So same way, after medicine, it's not just about just doing a post-graduation in MS or MD. Okay? So don't follow, do what's right for you basically. Okay? So a lot of times you have to choose your path and you have to see what is good for you. Okay? So that's very, very important, and think where you're going. Okay? Right. So this is the classical medical pathway. Okay? You become a doctor of medicine, okay, or a master of surgery after your MBBS, once you finish your MBBS. So that is what is usually done most of the time. Okay? But how it happens is basically, you just come through your NEET exam. So you will also have a NEET exam later on for your post-graduation, and later on for super specialty courses also. Okay? But what you undergo here now would be these subjects, and later on you would choose one of these subjects for you to do your post-graduation. So the year one basically has these three subjects: anatomy, physiology, and biochemistry. The year two, you go into these other subjects, which is pathology, pharmacology, microbiology, forensic medicine. Community medicine is a subject which runs throughout your career, right from first year to the final year, all with the new syllabus. Okay? And then you go to the clinical side. So basically, your post-graduation is now on one of these subjects. So that is what I'm trying to say, which means that if you develop interest in one of these subjects later on, then probably you would choose them as your postgraduate subject also. Okay? So you would do these final year subjects as you go towards the clinical side. Okay? There's another option. There's a parallel option also for post-graduation if you can't get into MS or MD after your postgraduate NEET examination. And this is called as the National Board Exams. Okay? The National Board Exams is another option for post-graduation. A lot of changes have happened, but primarily it is a 3-year kind of a primary DNB, which is called, okay, where after your MBBS you would enter a primary DNB for a post-graduation also. It's not a MS or MD, it's a DNB which is equivalent to MS or MD. So over the years there was some discrepancy between DNB and masters, but now that discrepancy is taken off, and it has equal weightage of you doing a masters or a DNB, both have equal weightage, right? So you know these exams. So there is a single entry exams for all these things, and the rankings are given. Okay? Some of the central institutes are not a part of this NEET, and you would have to take separate entrances later once you finish your MBBS to again go into any of these central institutes for you to do a postgraduate exams. Right? There are thoughts of how you might actually go through these exams in a different way, which is called as the next exam, which was planned actually to be started 2 years back, but it didn't get implemented, where you had exams throughout your career similar to the MLE exams, US MLE exams, where you had exams at the end of 2 years, 3rd year, and before the internship. And that was the exit exam. Instead of a postgraduate NEET exam, this was supposed to be the exit exam for you to get into post-graduation. It is still not implemented. It is still in the planning stage. But for all you know, your batch might get it. We don't know that. Once the NMC comes with the plan, we might have to implement that. So just be aware of this. This is called as the National Exit Test, or the next exam, which might come. Every year we hear that it might come for this batch. Last year batch, I told the same thing, that it might be for your batch. Now again, I'm repeating it, but we never know when the NMC will come out with this. Okay, so this will be your exit test actually without going for a NEET postgraduate entrance exam. This will be your exit exam during an internship actually, right? You need to think, as I said, you need to plan your career right from beginning, okay? So which means that you start, as after your first year probably, you need to start assessing yourself what you want to do, right? Where you want to go through. and then you start looking at subjects, what interests you, and what career options you want to see. So you start exploring those career options, and that is why this session of probably giving a glimpse of what other career options people might have at this point of time. Okay? You take a decision, but then the decision making doesn't happen immediately. It can happen in a second year or a third year, where you decide that you want to take up MLE, USMLE, and go out of this country, or you want to stay back in the country and then continue with your masters, right? So those kind of decisions is a shared decision between you, your family, your parents, and your teachers. And we are here only to guide you with what options you might have, okay? And finally, you implement. So this is similar to what you would actually do in your clinical when you see a patient also. You take history of the patient, then you would examine, you would diagnose, and then you treat. So similar kind of a philosophy you need to apply for your own self, of how you want to take your own life in terms of career pathway also, okay? If you want to read this book, it's a good book for you to read, The Roads to Success. The ROADS, what you see there, stands for few things, okay? Once you decide what you want to do, right, you need to think whether it's realistic. Have you considered all the options, okay? Have you built in anchors? Anchors are very important. One of the things anchor, what just now Dr. Naveen mentioned, was research. So you need to build in your anchors as you go up and build up your resume, so that when you start applying for things in terms of your careers, new type of careers, these anchors are the ones which will help you to, go up in a very nice way. So it will provide a background to your career, okay? And will your choice develop your potential? Very important. In the sense that, will you enjoy what you'll do later in life? That's very, very important. It's not about parental pressure or peer pressure or whatever it is. It's about you deciding. Now, coming to MBBS is one decision. Probably you are not a part of that decision in a major way. But for a post-graduation, that decision is completely, it should be yours. Because that's your life, entire life. And you need to enjoy that. Every day morning when you get up and want to go to work, you need to be very happy that today I'm going to be, I'm an orthopedic surgeon. So I need to be very happy that when I get up in the morning, that do I enjoy my work in my OT or patients? That's very important. It should not be that you get stuck in one particular profession and you don't like it all your life. So you need to be very, very careful with that. And can you work with or minimize the stress factors in your career choice. So these ROADS stands for these things. Okay, so you need to check whether what you choose is realistic or not, what are the options, what anchors you built over the years to get that, right? And is it going to be a happy kind of a decision for you? So these are things which you need to know, right? We talked about this, about going out, right? So these foreign medical specializations, I think my associate deans told yesterday about how many of you were asking about USMLE and other things and what support system we have in the institution also. So majority of you, or rather the previous batches, whatever I've seen, at least 40% of them would want to go to the US and start this USMLE preparations, okay? So this is, you have the steps, step 1, 2, 3, and then you go on to do this in a methodical way, okay? There are other options to go in terms of other countries. PLAB and FRCS is basically for the United Kingdom, okay? And then you have other countries like Canada or Australia or any of those things. They have their own exams. Remember that whenever you go or wherever you go, you need to start right from the beginning of their system. It's very rare that you might do a post-graduation year and jump up the ladder in their system. Every time you apply or think about going out, you should remember that you need to start at the lowest part in their system and then move up. That's the correct way of doing it also. That's the correct way of training. And that's the correct way of actually entering their system and being successful there. So it takes a lot of planning, a lot of hard work, a lot of resources, a lot of money, and so many other factors come into picture. That's why I said it's a very shared decision between you, family, and so many other factors. But that decision is finally yours in terms of whether you really want to do it, okay, and then start planning for it, okay. So that's very crucial for you, right. So these are other countries and these are other options which you have, okay, Singapore and other things. Right. We just talked about the research pathway. So if you want to continue, we encourage you to do a lot of research during undergraduate years, and we have a lot of success stories, especially in Manipal, in terms of our UGs doing great about research or publications and grants and projects, right? But if you want to take it up further as you go through, right, there are pathways for you to do that, okay? So this basically evaluates a lot of things. It could be medications, devices. Naveen just talked about creating new knowledge. So you need to be a contributor into that aspect also in terms of anything which could be innovative. It could be diagnostic products, treatment practices, any of these things for your patient use. When you do that, that research pathway becomes very, very useful for you, okay? There are institutes in India which gives a lot of opportunities for research as a pathway. So we call these as clinical scientists. So you become a clinician or you finish your MBBS, okay, and then you go towards a scientific kind of a pathway. So these are called as clinical scientists, and who choose basically research. You don't practice basically with patients. It could be a part of it, right? Sometimes, 70-30 kind of a thing, but the majority is basically research. So this is the pathway I'm talking about in terms of how you can choose the research pathway. So we do have, in KMC itself, we have an integrated PhD combination, MBBS with PhD, Masters with PhD. The PhD is one where we'll propel you for the research pathway or clinical scientists, okay? So if anybody is interested, you can approach us if you want to go through this particular pathway of having a PhD degree which can complement your pathway as a researcher, okay? So post-graduations with PhDs and MBBS with PhD options are always available, and many other institutes also give that, right? This is a new thing. All of you know about the AI, right? And this could be, when you finish in 2031, there could be career options only through AI, okay? So you need to think about this also right from the beginning of how you would want to do this, okay? So it could be in biomedicine or data science informatics or data analytics. Any of these things can be an option here. And already, I would like to inform that in KMC Manipal, we have started a new department of artificial intelligence in healthcare. We just recently started last month, and I want the undergraduates to be a part of it also. So a separate department, first time in the country in a medical college, was started here in Manipal, KMC Manipal, as a separate department. So if you see, these kind of departments are there in some of the engineering colleges and as a centers. But creating a separate department in a medical school, we took the initiative to start this. So research opportunities are there, and most of these will give you options in masters or any of these degrees in healthcare, especially where AI is involved, artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science, all these are involved. So think about it, read about it, and look at the options, because when you graduate, your batch graduates, I think this will be a major component for career option, okay? So think about that and take a decision on that. There is what is called as health informatics, right? So in order to provide effective and efficient healthcare services, especially in large scale, capturing large data, again it falls into the ambit of AI itself. We have these options of data scientists for healthcare, okay, and masters in health data science. There are universities offering this. So if you are again inclined towards that kind of a option, these are the universities offering this. Forget that your parents are sitting there at the back. How many of you wanted to become engineers? Or anything else apart from medicine? You need to be honest to yourself, you need to be frank. Let us know. Anyone? 1, 2, 3. Now the hands are going up slowly. So my point is, you need to follow your dream. And today's world, there are opportunities to do that. Even if you're an MBBS doctor, there are opportunities to do that. Go back to what you really liked, okay? So there is this amalgamation of medicine and engineering in what's called the biomedical research or biomedical engineering, where in spite of being a doctor, you can still pursue your engineering dreams by combining these two. Okay? So MTech in biomedical engineering and biological sciences can be a postgraduate option for you. People who raised your hands who wanted to do engineering can still go back to that, but combine your medical knowledge now with engineering, and that gives something completely different in terms of innovations. Okay? You can develop, design, improve medical devices or innovative technologies. Okay? There are a lot of options. I've just given few things: prosthetics, artificial limbs, imaging machines, monitors, nanotechnology. Any of those things can be developed by you with your medical knowledge. Okay? We have IITs offering you this biotechnology courses. Okay? And also in Masters in Medical Science and Technology, you have a 3-year program for MBBS graduates, especially in these tissue engineering, biomaterials. Okay? All these are there. So don't stop your dream from not becoming an engineer. You can combine your medical knowledge with the engineering, and that becomes a new option for you. So think about this. There are options here still available. If you think of public health, if you want to go to preventive kind of medicine rather than curative kind of a medicine, right? So you have options for what's called as public health, Masters in Public Health, which is a 2-year program. And you want to travel across the world, you want to collaborate in WHO and UNICEF and other things, this is one great option. Okay? And we do have a School of Public Health right across this building here, where MBBS graduates, some of them take up public health. And this is a very rewarding career in terms of community service also. Okay? So higher academic pursuits like PhD, fellowships in public health, right? So as I said, there is just a building outside here, if you see near the circle there, it's called the Prasanna School of Public Health. And a lot of people from different streams join this for Masters in Public Health and have great career options, especially in the WHO kind of scenarios. So you can still go through this kind of an option if you really think of preventive kind of medicine where you want to serve the community rather than being in the hospital and do more of curative kind of a treatment. Right? How many of you wanted to join Army, Navy? Anyone? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You want to become engineer and Army and everything. Great. No, but there are options for that also. I'll come to that. Okay. So from UPSC onwards, there are options. Okay, this combined medical services. Okay, short service commissions. This is where you go to all these kind of government institutions like railways and CGHS and any of this. You can appear for these exams right from final year onwards. Okay, and you have in-service seats also for this. And good option for permanent job with government. Okay, so it starts with these combined medical services, and then it goes to the armed forces. And you start with what's called the short service commission. Okay, so this is a doctor who joins the Indian Army, gets commissioned in Army Medical Corps as a captain first. Okay, this is for the 3 years. That's a short service commission. As 3 years you would join there. Okay, and it also provides in-service entry into the AFMC also. So if after here, if you want to join AFMC as a postgraduate student, this is again an option. 3 years plus a 4-year bond will be there. Okay, and after the rank of Lieutenant Colonel, so all further rank or selection grade in nature. Okay, and what you can go highest would be a Lieutenant General. Okay, do you know anybody in Manipal who is a Lieutenant General? Our Vice Chancellor. Okay, so our Vice, he was supposed to be here. Unfortunately, he had to go somewhere else on an urgent commitment, and he has sent his regards to all of you. But he was supposed to be here today also to wish you. So our Vice Chancellor, who was the AFMC Dean for the last 15 years before he came to Manipal Group, he is a Lieutenant General. That is the highest rank you can. He's an ENT surgeon basically by profession, but he's the one who's attained the highest rank and who is with us. So there are options for you to still pursue your dream to be into Army or any of the armed forces. Okay. How many of you wrote or thought of writing IAS? Entrance exams? You wanted to join civil services? Okay, one hand there, right? You can still do that. You can still do that, okay? If you want to go to any of the civil services, now with medical subjects, you have a separate quota there or a separate stream after you become a doctor. And it becomes actually more easier for you to get into IAS with your medical degree, okay? So exam can be taken with medical subjects and an optional that is best suited, okay? Lot of online coaching is available free of cost, shorter amount of time. So during your final year, actually you can start preparations for a civil services, right? And it gives a graduation, requires a graduation degree from a registered college. So by the time you finish your I mean, if you're taken up, the first paper or the first step and the seconds, by the time you go to interview, you should finish your internship. That is a criteria for that. So by the time you go for the interview part of the IAS or any of the services, your internship should be complete. So you start preparing for that in your final year, so you can still continue to do that. Anybody wanted to take up MBAs, managements, right? So there are two hands there, okay? So again, still an option once you become a doctor also, okay? So demand for doctors with MBA, MHA in private hospitals and pharmaceutical companies are very, very high, okay? So there are a lot of institutions which offer MBA for doctors, okay? IIMs and any of these, the Indian Business School in Hyderabad. So they all offer this. You can be hospital administrators, health information managers, medical managers, pharmaceutical project managers. So basically it's a management options which you have in any of these things. Anybody wanted to be a lawyer? No one? Lawyers and doctors are always away most of the times, okay? But if you want to get into that, into giving legal medical services, there is a huge demand for that, right? So the medical law is a broad discipline that covers many aspects of healthcare, especially medical malpractice, healthcare laws. And there are universities giving this 2-year kind of programs, postgraduate programs, diploma programs available here. So a lot of things, especially in today's scenario with a lot of patient-related kind of, confidentiality and everything, there's huge demand for legal services. The moment I say legal services, forensic person comes in. So this is an option for you if you really wanted to get into the legal services, okay? Ahmedabad offers an 18-month course in health management, medico-legal issues in health management. So great options available a short period after your MBBS. I saw a lot of sports people yesterday. I heard from my associate deans there are a lot of sports people, people interested or people excelling in sports among your batch. Where is the archer here? You're there, okay. And the sailor. She's there, yeah. So I get all the information. We'll track you back. But then, yeah. And the good news is we are starting an Institute of Sports Medicine in Manipal next year. A completely separate Institute of Sports Medicine will come up in Manipal next year, and I think you will be all benefited with that. But if you want a career in sports medicine, we might start postgraduation in sports medicine here itself in Manipal very soon. That's one of the projects. But otherwise, you have these things right now. In Patiala, there is a 2-year postgraduate diploma course. AFMC Pune has a 3-year MD medicine, sports medicine. That's what we want to start here in Manipal, probably by next year. And then you have in Chennai, SRMC Chennai, you have a 3-year MD program also. So these are the things, again, for sports enthusiasts, you definitely go into this. If you want to really travel the world, right, you can still do that being a doctor. And one of the options would be an emergency physician on a cruise liner, okay? A very lucrative career because you can travel, you can see the world, right, and still continue with your career and your options of practicing medicine. So there are options. You need additional exam licenses, especially through the emergency medicine department. Okay, 3 months on board, 45 days off board. Okay, and So these are the options you need to think of out of the box, right? If you still want to do things and still travel the world, there are options. An emergency medicine department we have here in Manipal, you can have the post-graduation and then think of doing these things later on. There are other options also. You can be a factory medical officer, industrial health. There could be medical journalism, medical writing, medical transcriptions, private practice, junior residencies, right? There's a huge demand for doctors in public health sectors, medical social workers, research consultants, entrepreneurs, trainers, okay? NGOs, especially hiring doctors from WHO and UNO, right? Any of those things. But what we are trying to do in Manipal for you right now is to create what's called an IMG, an Indian medical graduate, okay, who possesses requisite knowledge, skills, attitudes, values, and responsiveness so that he or she may function appropriately and effectively as a physician of first contact at the community while being globally relevant. So this is what is the purpose of your curriculum, the competency-based medical education, to create an IMG, an Indian medical graduate who is locally and globally relevant. So that is what we will be doing as faculty, as a college, for you to be a good human being and a good Indian medical graduate, okay? Because finally, we need to serve our country. And one of the best way to serve our country is to give back to our country, right from the PhD level, where it's the basic structures. So you will go to the rural postings during your other postings of community medicine and other departments, right? And then you need to see what's happening in our own country. So a lot of us have stayed back in this country because we want to give back whatever we have learned, whatever we have earned to this country. And that's what we also want you to do, right? So this is the goal of creating an Indian medical graduate. How many of you will stay back and serve the country? How many will go out? That's your personal choice. But always remember that this country requires a lot of medical resources, a lot of doctors, a lot of paramedical staff, because that is the discrepancy we see in our healthcare in our own country. So this should be your basis when you start, being a doctor. At the core of your heart, I think you should remember this. There are many, many people who have become very, very successful as doctors. I don't know whether you can identify any of these people, but these are all doctors who excelled in their own way as doctors and also went on to become, celebrities also, okay? So it's just the beginning of your career today on day one, but at the end of the day, it's your decision where you want to be, right? After 5 years, after 8 years, after 10 years, where you want to be in life is up to you. So I've just given a glimpse of what are the options available. The choice is yours. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for informing us about the endless opportunities and possibilities that a student can think of after he finishes or she finishes MBBS. Udupi is a land of temples, a land of beaches, a land of culture, a land of various cuisines, and the list continues. So all along we talked about academics. Now we move on to a little lighter topic. We want you to identify the place where you are, so to brighten up your thoughts and to tell us more about the sights, the sounds, and the tastes of Udupi, we invite Dr. Kiran K.V. Acharya, Professor and Head, Department of Orthopedics, KMC Manipal. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, colleagues, friends, parents, and MBBS students who have just stepped into day one of your KMC Manipal stay. I am an alumnus of Manipal from my kindergarten days. Kindergarten, primary school, high school, PUC, MBBS, MS Orthopedics, and I have also served in other institutes of Manipal in Sikkim, Malaysia. So I can say that I am a truly an alumnus of Manipal. I'm proud to say that even my father and my elder brother are alumni of KMC Manipal. So much so that there is a road named after my father in Manipal. All I can say now is welcome to Manipal. You need to know where you are. I'm sure you had a very serious lecture since morning. This is a time to unwind and enjoy my presentation. The waterfall which you see is just a 2.5 hours drive from here in a place called Belkal Tirtha on the way to Kollur. So you need to explore in surroundings of Manipal when you are here for the next few years. If I have to tell you where is Manipal, it's very easy to Google, but you get confused with many Manipals all over the country and all over the world. We are on the Arabian coast. We have our district is the size of Singapore, with the population equaling to population of Singapore as well. We have a very high literacy rate, and Udupi district has more females than males. And we have one of the lowest infant mortality rates in this country. That is because of education, nothing else. We are strategically sandwiched between the Arabian Sea and the Western Ghats. And the national highway cuts through Udupi, and Udupi is a temple town with a lot of educational institutes and a lot of temples. Udupi is also known for a famous fishing harbor called Malpe, which caters to local fish lovers as well as it exports to other countries. But Udupi is originally known for its temple. Before 1953, before TMAPI stepped into Manipal, Manipal was just a barren land. It's for you to find out where this 0 milestone of Manipal is located in. The name Manipal came from a Kannada word or Tulu word called Mannu Palla, a pond which had clay which was used for roof tiles, otherwise known as Mangalore tiles, used for roofing. And Manipal grew around this lake over the last 7 decades to become what it is today. This is the first building built by Dr. T.M.A. Pai. It still exists, hidden behind the biochemistry building. And vision of T.M.A. Pai made Manipal what it is. He started the medical college in 1953. He believed that a great infrastructure, innovative ideas like, first he was a pioneer in medical tourism. The Valley View Health Club started as a health tourism hub. He also started many supporting colleges like Pharmacy College, Nursing College, so on, because he believed that institute is not just buildings, it's also getting the best of the minds with skills and knowledge to train the future generations. As you can see, the surnames which are on the top, they all came from various parts of India, made Manipal their home for the passion of teaching and imparting skills to the next generation. This is a very rare photograph taken on a Teacher's Day with the founder and many senior teachers who started this institution. These are glimpses of Manipal campus over the years. This particular building where I studied anatomy has now become Prasanna School of Public Health. The major change has been the last few decades is the green cover which is Manipal is getting. This particular circle, which now no longer exists, It's called Tiger Circle. It's got a reason for being called Tiger Circle because tigers used to roam around before this medical college came up. And one of the students in his leave letter, the reason for absenting himself from the class was a tiger preventing him reaching the college. I believe the dean was generous enough to grant the leave. Now we have a remnant of a tiger circle in this place. Anatomy Museum is one of the best in the world, with well-dissected specimens by Professor Godbole from 1960s. When KMC celebrated 25 years, I came here as a young student to look into the college, and I was impressed by the exhibition they had put up, and I decided to join medicine. Dr. Ramdas Pai, who continued the legacy of Dr. T.M.A. Pai, got the deemed university status for Manipal. Dr. Ranjan Pai, at present, has taken the name of Manipal overseas as well. So Manipal believes in a good infrastructure, getting the knowledge people with skills to impart training. It's a 360-degree development for all of you. Why I am showing all this? Because in the next few sessions, they'll also tell you how many examinations you'll have later, probably 150 of them, spread over the next years. You'll also have time to make new friends, celebrate festivals, and in a flash, these years will pass and you'll have a certificate of graduate in your hand. Means you'll have a graduation ceremony, and then you realize you did not explore this place. You did not see the sights and sounds of surroundings of Manipal. Many of my classmates, class of 1987 MBBS, when I show them the present day photographs of some places, they say, did this exist in Manipal when we were around? So this question should not come from your batch. Whenever you have extra time, free time, try to explore Udupi and surroundings. You must be wondering why I'm showing a film clip in between my presentation. This particular movie was shot exclusively in the surroundings of Manipal, about 1 to 1.5 hours drive from here, and it reflects the culture and rural sports of Manipal and surroundings. What you see here is an image of Kambala, 2 buffaloes and 1 jockey, the rural sport, which is now approved even by the Animal Rights Organization as one of the ethical rural sports. This gives you a message that you need to balance work and life. Work is the one for which you are here. The primary purpose is to study medicine and to excel and leave with the graduation or come back here for post-graduation. And life is the other part where you explore Manipal and surroundings. One of the easiest is to enjoy the rains in Manipal. It's free. It says that one who appreciates rain is known as a pluviophile, and one who doesn't appreciate rains, it just gets wet. So little away from Manipal, you'll find these sites. And June 2025, Manipal was declared as the wettest place in India. We beat even Cherrapunji. If you look a little further, you'll see a place called Pajaka, the birthplace of Madhvacharya, a proponent of Dvaita philosophy, with the Durga temple, which is the directional Durga temple, on the top of a hill. You can also get to appreciate the coastal architecture, which is well suited for this rainy weather. Parents, I request you to visit Heritage Village in Manipal to explore the heritage of this area. Palaces, houses of the landlords have been carefully restored and rebuilt in this Hastashilpa Heritage Village, which also is under the management of Manipal Academy of Higher Education. There are guided tours to show you the rich cultural heritage of this place. The temple in the campus is a Venugopal temple in MIT, which has got a fusion architecture. Little away, there is endpoint with a sports complex as well as a viewpoint for a sunset. And river Swarna flows there. It also provides water to Manipal. There's kayaking available close to the bridge near Swarna River. This huge building near the endpoint is a Rajatadri, that's an administrative building of Udupi district. A place called Hemmadi has a beautiful chrysanthemum fields which blooms in January and February, and these flowers are exclusively for the use of surrounding temples, and it's a good place for Instagrammable photos. So January to February is the best time to visit on the national highway near Kundapur. Whoever visits Manipal should visit the twin city of Udupi. That's where Udupi Krishna temple is located in. And this Krishna statue came from Dwaraka to Udupi. The story of how this idol reached Udupi is a story, long story, so you need to Google it yourself and find out. Udupi temple is famous for a lot of celebrations. If you are here last Monday, you would have witnessed one of the greatest celebrations in Udupi, that's Krishna Janmastami. Here is a glimpse of it. You would have spotted thousands of tigers, demons, people dressed up in various costumes, celebrating Krishna's birth and reenacting his childhood antics, including Mosaru Kudike or Dahi Handi, the Udupi style. Udupi is not just about temples and celebrations, it's also about imparting knowledge. All the mathas, there are 8 mathas in Udupi, they impart a Vedic knowledge as well as they impart a modern education to the disciples. Much before the government started midday meals in the schools, Udupi temple was already doing it. Anyone with a school ID would get a free lunch in the Udupi Krishna Matha. And there is a huge kitchen which caters to thousands of people every day. Chef Vikas Khanna, who is an 8 times Michelin star chef, was an alumnus of Manipal School of Culinary Arts. He's a great fan of Udupi and Udupi cuisine, and he has taken the Udupi cuisine to the world. Why I'm putting this image is, he has a huge collection of vintage cooking articles, cooking vessels, and it's all housed in a museum right behind Marina in a place called Patra Museum. As I told you, the Udupi was originally a farmer's town, and celebrations following harvest festival was common. This is in Makara Sankranti. On January 14th, all the 3 chariots will be pulled. A lot of nice sights around Udupi temple. And Janmastami tigers, here is a glimpse. And most of these tigers are patients of Department of Orthopedics. Udupi has a Krishna temple in the center, and then 4 directions there are Durga temples. One of the Durga temples is on the way to Udupi. It's a place called Kadiyali. You must visit this place because there is a certificate to the local craftsmanship. If you see the roof of the Gopuram there is a rotating ceiling which moves in clockwise and anti-clockwise directions. It's an engineering marvel as well as a certificate for wood craftsmanship. So paddy was originally the agricultural product here, produced here in Udupi, and everything revolved around the harvest festival. As you can see, this is a paddy field, and you will need the buffaloes to till the ground before the machinery took over. Now the buffaloes are mostly for Kambala. There is a Kambala calendar available. Sadly, this year's Kambala calendar is not yet announced, but it's likely to start in November 25 to March 2026. One of the easiest to reach Kambala is in Katpadi on the way to Mangalore, and it's usually in the second weekend of February. Apart from rural sports, there's also deities called Bhutas and Daivas. There are many. The Daivasthana of our campus is right in front of MIT entrance. That's called Babbu Swami. You must pay a visit to this place, not just to appreciate the concept of religion and spirituality, also to appreciate the coastal architecture. Once in a year, there is a Bhuta Kola, that's a celebration. Apart from other rural sports include cockfight. It's banned because of the betting associated with it, and also it's a contributor for Department of Orthopedics and Department of Cardiothoracic Surgery. Because the blades attached to the legs of these cocks, sometimes the cocks get agitated and they fly all over, and they can cut the carotid artery or a popliteal artery. So become patients of orthopedics or cardiothoracic surgery. Another important cultural art form of this place is Yakshagana. There is also a puppet version of this. You get to witness it sometime. Yakshagana Kendra is run by Manipal Academy of Higher Education, where one can do a certificate course on this particular art form. And you will get to see these performances in some of the college programs as well, Yakshagana. Other than that, there are many cultural artifacts available in and around Udupi and Manipal. This is a French map from the past. However hard you try, you will not see Udupi or Manipal in this map, because those days only the harbors used to get marked in the maps. And the harbor which was very close to Udupi was Barkur, which was usually used for exporting pepper from this place. So these harbors brought in people from faraway lands with various religions. They stayed here, propagated their religion, as well as they contributed to the education and healthcare by missionary activities. One of the churches on the way to Udupi is in Udyavar. It's modeled after church in Florence called Duomo. On the way to Malpe, there is a ship-shaped church with a lighthouse. It's called Stella Maris Church in Kalmadi. If you are not able to travel to Pisa in Italy, you can go down the Perampalli Road and see a similar tower in Perampalli Church. And only problem is it's not leaning, only in the photograph it appears to be leaning. Other religions of this place include Jainism. One of the beautiful Jain temples is in a place called Varanga near Karkala. I'm sure you heard Karkala Sharath Rao this morning, Pro Vice Chancellor, and he comes from this town called Karkala, which has got this statue of Gomateshwara. There are 3 of them in our twin district, Karkala, Venur, and Dharmasthala. Apart from religion, you can also appreciate the nature around Manipal. Just few kilometers away, you have beautiful groves where you can just listen to nature. Cicadas, frogs, and many migratory birds, especially post-monsoon. We are on the Arabian coast, so there are a lot of beautiful beaches close to Manipal. One of them, one of my favorites, is Mattu Beach. This particular drive has been declared as one of the best cycling tracks by none other than Norwegian ambassador. And it's indeed true. It's 18-kilometer long stretch connecting Malpe and Kapu, two places. It's a thin strip of land between a river and the sea. St. Mary's Islands, it's also known as Tonsepar, has volcanic basalt formations. Another reason you must visit this place is only 3 places in the world have this. One is in Croatia, other one is in Ireland, and the third one is in Malpe. So before you leave Manipal, you must visit this St. Mary's Island. It was told in the previous lectures that a doctor's life is stressful. So to de-stress, one can always go to the beach, watch the sundown. It's free every evening, weather permitting and time permitting. And this is without any editing, short live. You can see the colors of the sky. This is from Mattu Beach. Wherever there are waterfalls, beaches, and lakes, the usual precautions apply. Do not venture into the sea during rainy season. This is what happens during rainy season. Sea gets rough and wild. Always follow locals' advice. In the backwaters near Malpe, homestays are available, houseboats are available. If you go a little far, you see the second highest waterfall in the country, that's Joke Falls. Beautiful during rainy season. There's another place where River Saupernica is on the left, Arabian Sea on the right, and the highway cutting between. And this island here is known as Padukone. Padukone is also the birthplace of ancestors of film actress by the same surname. This place also has contributed a lot of poets, film actors, drama personalities, directors, music directors. Little north, there is a temple called Murdeshwar with a giant statue of Shiva. Stunning views from the tower as well as from the hills. We were famous for Mangalore tiles. There are some tile factories still functioning. If you have time, you can visit them during your community medicine postings. There are 2 fruits which are popular here. Do you know the speciality of the fruit on the left? What's the name of it? Pineapple, yes, congratulations. Know it. It doesn't have any seeds. Fruit on the right, cashew. It's the only fruit in the world which has got a nut outside. You can read it up. So cashew processing is one of the biggest cash crops here in this region. I'm sure in community medicine posting, they'll take you to one of the factories to see the workers' health. Our place is also known for birthplace of many banks, which now later have merged with other banks. We were the first example of branding much before McDonald's came in, Udupi was all over the world. It said that even those who landed on the moon were offered chai by Udupi restaurant. Just a fiction. So a lot of local delicacies made with the locally available materials. This is the idli prepared with the jackfruit leaves or a screw pine leaves. It's called moode. I'm sure all of you are hungry by now. Idli, vada, and various types of dosa also found their origin in Udupi. Neer dosa with paneer ghee roast, kori roti, and many, many. So if you get an invite for a banana leaf lunch anywhere during your stay here, do not deny that invite. Go and enjoy, and that's how you'll remember the Udupi cuisine. And the label Manipalite will be given to you only when you taste these two delicacies called, one is goli bhaje, and other one is buns. Speciality of this is even if you're asking for one, you still say buns. Okay, singular, plural, both are same. And many local delicacies, including fish varieties. And street food. The most Googled recipe associated with Manipal has been Manipal bread masala or Manipal bun masala. You can check that on the YouTube. We are also not far behind with respect to ice creams and desserts. There are a lot of varieties here. One of the Udupi's contribution is Gadbad ice cream, which is ice cream sundae prepared in a hurry. And other varieties are seasonal, like jackfruit ice cream and coconut ice cream. Udupi has 2 GI tags, one for the green brinjal, another one for the jasmine. Means these two cannot be grown anywhere in the country. It has particular taste and aroma. So you can see the images and videos online, but if you go down to experience, be a part of the scene, you'll be enjoying it more and you can absorb the cultures more. As I told you, the years here will move fast. You need to attend festivities, celebrations, taste the local cuisine, learn the local languages, and enjoy this place. For the adventurous, there are also adventure sports. Manipal University runs courses on scuba diving and surfboarding. Again, usual precautions apply. I thank you for your attention. Enjoy your stay in Manipal. And those interested in four-wheel driving, vintage cars, there is Manipal Auto Club as well. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful presentation. I'm sure sir has told you different avenues for reducing your stress as part of your medical school. And I'm sure all the delicacies he showed you has made you hungry, but we have to wait a little while more before we can proceed for lunch. And I think sir has also stressed the importance of probably choosing orthopedics as your specialty, so that all these local sports, orthopedics is a thriving department here. And just a note of caution, remember we'll tell you in the afternoon, if you now come with a leave note saying tigers are on prowl and you could not come to class, it will not be entertained and you will not get leave. So now we move on to a panel discussion. We invite Dr. Prasad SS, Associate Dean, KMC Manipal, to facilitate a panel discussion with our medical students on the topic, What I Wish I Knew When I Entered Medical School. We invite our students, MBBS students, Chirag, Kushi, Sriya, onto the stage. The faculty involved in the panel discussion will be Dr. Vinod Nayak, Associate Dean, who will lead the session. We also invite Ishika from this current batch of 2025. Note that we just picked this student randomly out of the list. We wanted to hear from the current batch student also regarding their fears and aspirations while joining the medical school. So I invite Dr. Prasad SS to lead the panel discussion.
Good morning, respected Dean sir, my colleagues, parents, and fresh entrants to MBBS. Had the privilege of speaking with about 60 of you yesterday. I extend my welcome and congratulations to the remaining people. Most of the things have been already explained to you. Things have been done in a systematic way. The ice has been broken. You have donned the coat, white coat. You have taken that bold step. That's a heroism. Congratulations for that. Now there's no going back. Not audible? Sorry, sir. I will raise the volume. I can be audible without mic as well on occasions. So, hope I'm audible now. Fantastic. Good. I was just testing whether the kids were paying enough attention to me or not. So again, now the step has been taken towards pursuing a career in medical profession. You have donned the white coat and now there is no going back. The doors are closed. Now, there's a particular concept which often haunts us, particularly for those in surgical field. We will always have this notion, and that's called retrospect or hindsight. In the retrospect, had I not done that, what would have happened? In the retrospect, had I not taken that particular step, had I not acted in that particular way, what would have been the outcome? So that question always bothers us on occasions. And on this day, when you guys are starting your career, the first day of your medical profession, I can imagine that you are going through a mix of emotions. You are excited, you are full of joy, you are enthusiastic. At the same time, there is some fear, some apprehension. And what better way to relieve you from these negative emotions than communicating with your own peers who have been there and done that, and probably might have even thought, had I not done that. So for this, towards this, we are conducting this particular panel discussion. We have our students here, seniors here, who were in your place years ago, a couple of years ago, and who are going to share their experiences, their journeys, what they have been doing rightly and what they would not want you people to do, which they might have committed. To err is human. We make mistakes, we correct mistakes, but if we correct from others' mistakes, we are always better. Okay. So now you have seen all the goody things. Professor Kiran Acharya painted a beautiful presentation. I'm the person who always breaks the bad news. So I'm the villain, okay? And I enjoy every bit of it. So let's start this discussion, and in this discussion we have our panelists. Randomly we picked up one of your batchmates, Ishika. Thanks for being brave enough to come onto the dais on the very first day. Congratulations. And we have our students Chirag, Kushi, Shriya, who are going to give us their insights. And then the dynamic, the ever popular Associate Dean, Associate Dean, Professor Vinod Nayak. He is going to be, the pacifier and the man who strikes the balance if there is a conflict of ideology. So now, to start the panel discussion, let us ask Ishika. How are you, Ishika?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, sir.
You can remain seated. Feel comfortable.
Thank you, sir. So, how am I feeling? Like sir said, it's a roller coaster ride. I'm feeling how I feel when I sit on a roller coaster. I'm excited, but I'm very nervous because I'm afraid of heights. And everything feels very new. It's a new journey for me, and it is like stepping into unknown, uncertainty, and it's just, let's see where life takes us, going with the flow, and experiencing, growing, a lot of things, but like very new, and I'm very, very excited and nervous at the same time.
That's perfectly natural, and I'm glad that you expressed your feelings that way. Remember, most of the surveys have pointed out that medical course is one of the most difficult courses one can pursue. And having done that, the best way to go about it is to enjoy it. There's no other choice. So let's start interrogating the junior-most of the panelists, who will have his memories very fresh and who is going to throw some light on the apprehensions and nervousness and fear of heights and roller coasters, etc., which Ishika said. So, Chirag, are you with me? Yes. Good. So, do you remember this particular day about 11 months ago?
Very recent. I remember exactly.
Let me complete the question.
Yes, sorry.
You remember? Fond memories or nightmares?
Definitely fondest.
Fond memories. Great. So when you joined then, what do you think were the challenges that you faced? Was it the fear of getting into a new, strange environment? Was it the overwhelming feeling of subjects that you probably had not familiarized yourself with? Was it academics? Was it homesickness? Were you missing your family home? Or was it a bad roommate that you ever encountered? What is it about? I mean, tell us now. Now it's the mic is yours, the stage is yours.
So it's definitely a combination of all of these. Okay, hi guys, yeah, I'm Chirag. And well, right now you've just stepped into MBBS, and like, for me at least, my most major concerns were obviously a roommate, adjusting with a roommate and staying out of home, and academics and making new friends, you know, I didn't know. So I'll just tell you the story of me and my roommate. So I'm a Kannadiga from Bangalore, and my roommate is from Bihar. So it was a proper Chennai Express story, you know. So 2 years back, like, my Hindi was as bad as Meenamma's. So it was really poor. And the best part, I think, about living with a roommate is, of course, you stay outside home, so it teaches you independence, but it also teaches you interdependence, by which I mean it teaches you how to depend on the right people for the right things. So, like, it may be something as simple as, like, raat ke 12 baje, bhai kisi pe Maggie hai kya? Stuff like that, to your genuine friends and connections and bonds you form with people who will help you out throughout your entire course. So, I know some of you will probably have a single room, but ones of you living with roommates, please definitely try to adjust and adapt, because it teaches you so many subtle things, right from just sort of, you know, accommodating another individual's timing and schedule into yours, or, you know, it just teaches you how to live interdependently, which is great. Now, coming to the academics, it was a big jump for me, and I was very scared coming into college. And I was speaking to one of my mentors, and she used the word neat inertia. Like, you know, you're in that mindset still. Well, I would like to, like, it's very different. It's very different, the pattern of studying here and what you've been doing for the last 2, maybe 3, 4 years. Well, there it's learning repeatedly the same thing over and over again and trying to perfect how you can. But here, it's just building and adding on to knowledge, and the pattern of examination is very different, and difficult as well. Well, the textbooks, I remember I'd come here with my father, and we were walking in, and then right outside TMFI, they were selling the books, and I saw Guyton, and I lost it. I'm not reading that textbook. Well, yeah, coming to academics as well. Well, according to my knowledge, there is absolutely no other facility throughout India, no other college throughout India that is as interested and invested into your academic journey as this college is. Like, you'll be taught in classes, you'll be taught again in smaller group discussions, in practical halls, and again, presentations will be shared with you online for you to access as well. So your every need is taken care of, essentially, by the college. And about making new friends, yeah, well, you know, it's an experience. That's also an experience. You find people you have things in common with. And another beautiful thing about Manipal, one thing that I really love about this place is there's people from all over the world, not just all over India. Like, one of my closest friends now, he plays with me on the football team, he's from Nigeria. So, like, there's people from all over. One thing, like, I did less of, and I hope you all do more, is please network, please form connections, and these are all extremely, extremely important things. You know, I'm not much older than you guys. I'm only a year and a half, maybe older than you guys. But please network, please form connections with different people, and different people come to help of you in different times of need. And lastly, finally, this college offers you a platform for anything and everything. If you're a sports person, you know, Marina was one of the main selling points for me to come to this college. And I saw the endpoint ground and I was sold. So if you're a sports person, there's that. If there is, like, if you're into arts or cultural, I think our college has a record number of clubs and committees, and in terms of events they organize and all. And if you're into academics and you want to pursue research, things like that, I think our health sciences library is one of the most beautiful buildings I've seen. So regardless of what field you want to go, and I understand 11th and 12th NEET prep time is something you would have given up on your hobbies on. I used to play a lot of football, and then, like, I used to itch to play football during NEET, and I couldn't. And once I came back to college, now, like, I've finally, you know, taken it up again. So whatever hobbies you guys had suppressed over the last couple of years, this college has facility for absolutely everything. So make sure, study, of course, pass all your exams, don't get burnt out, make sure you have a fun time, and well, Manipal is a beautiful place. I'm sure you guys will move around next 1 year.
Chirag, thank you for those thoughts. And thanks for telling me that you love football. I'll remember that in exams when I take your Viva. Okay. Right. As I told you again, even yesterday there were very enthusiastic students who were already thinking about what books to buy, what books to read, etc. My senior colleagues and speakers before me have emphasized enough and more. It's a marathon. I would go one step further and say that it is an ultra marathon. It's a long journey. There's no need to hurry. And that's why the foundation course. We want you to settle down nicely, and then things will fall in place. Not audible? My God. And I was proud of my voice all these days. Okay. So, no need to think ahead of yourself in terms of what books to read, or is it going to be very difficult, or, in those lines. The foundation course is meant for that very purpose, and eventually things will fall in place. And for all of your grievances and concerns, there is a support system available. I would request Dr. Vinod Nayak to explain about how we have such support systems which will help you cope up with all the stresses and other things in your initial days while you settle down in medical course.
Thank you, sir. I think this ecosystem here at KMC, first welcome to KMC, Manipal, and the ecosystem here, I think the support systems are fantastic, to be frank. I mean, as Chirag also has just mentioned, there are support systems available at different levels. So there are different, depending on the type of problems also that you have. I feel the first and the strongest support system is you yourself, right? So your resilience to sort of face the setbacks that are you find on the way, along the way, and then your ability to bounce back from the setbacks, and I mean your initiation, your curiosity to learn something new, all of that. I mean, you are your greatest support. That is definitely true. And then of course you have your peers, right? When you go into each of these levels of support system, you have your next to whom you have are your peers, your friends. It could be peers from your same batch, or it could be your seniors, right? Seniors, I mean, they are literally the human Google here, who have a lot of real life experience, isn't it? And the friends that you make here, believe me, they stay with you for a lifetime, right? They are your next greatest support systems. That's what we've seen in medical school. You may not probably remember the friends that you make along, during your school days, but the friends that you make here are definitely going to stay with you for a lifetime. And they can form good friends. They can form a great support system for you here at college, right? Your seniors, they're the ones who have, survived dissection and are still smiling. So they are the people who, your friends are the people who you'll be sharing your late night Maggies and coffee only, right? Along your way. So these are the friends that you make. They're going to stay with you for a lifetime, and they're going to support you. Believe me, they are a great support system to, have. And then you have the mentors, the faculty mentors whom you're going to meet today afternoon. In fact, you have a dedicated session, the mentor-mentee session today, wherein you'll be allotted a mentor, and they'll be, mentoring you all along your, academic journey here. So ask them all sorts of questions. Any problem, especially during your first few days at on campus. You are very new into the your academic journey, and you will definitely have some sort of adjustment issues. So please talk to your mentors. They provide great support to you, right? They are the next level of support systems present here. I was telling this to most of the students who came to meet me yesterday, also. And then you have people staying in the hostel. Of course, all of you will be staying in the hostel now, first year. You'll have your wardens, right? He's the, what do you call, the friendly neighborhood superhero who will sort of make sure that you don't turn your room into a garage or something, right? Or you don't put your stethoscope into a microwave or something. So he is the one who will take care of you. And a good rapport with the warden goes a long way in protecting your interests, believe me. He will be there, he or she will be there to protect your interests all along your journey, whenever as long as you're staying in the hostel. And of course, you have counselors here. Any sort of emotional support, anything you want to discuss, you have dedicated, qualified counselors here at KMC who'll listen to everything, from your food issues to your hostel issues to your roommate snoring or whatever, So you have, they listen to all sorts of problems. When I speak to a counselor and, they come up with the kind of questions the kind of problems they have to face, believe me, everything and anything under the sun can be a problem. So they listen to you in a very, very dedicated way. And we have a student support system here where these counselors, these qualified counselors will be sort of listening to you, coming out with solutions to your problems. Of course, this student support center caters to the entire student fraternity at Mahe, but you're also a part of Mahe. So you will be also, you could seek help from the student support center here. And you have student clubs, to protect your extracurricular, co-curricular activities, your interests. You'll be, there's an expo today in the afternoon where you'll be seeing what and all the clubs from KMC Manipal. They're all on display on the second floor. So you could visit those clubs, meet the concerned heads of clubs, see where your interests lie. See, all these systems also, they're all support systems, right? They complement your studies. So when academics burn your souls, they are the ones who replenish it. So basically, all these clubs also will be a great support system for you guys. And of course, health-related issues also. You have a great hospital here. Dr. Avinash Shetty was here in the morning, the medical superintendent. You have student clinics there. So any issue, any problems, you could sort of talk to your mentor or your warden, and any health-related issues, you'll be given priority in the hospital. So you'll be directed to the concerned, physician. So these are the different levels of support systems that exist in the college. You can make use of them whenever needed. But again, I stress, make good friends, and you yourself are your greatest support system. Please keep that in mind. Thank you.
Pearls of wisdom, those were, right? I learnt a new idiom, burning the soul. Thank you. Okay. Now we heard from Chirag, who's just senior to you guys, and we'll go one step further to a little more experienced student, Kushi, right? So now, as you become more senior, you start getting more questions, okay? So now we have a cluster of questions for her, right? So in addition to whatever Chirag faced, when it came to subjects, academics, any particular thing that you found as a very difficult task or anything like that, any challenge? Yeah? You answer this question, the next one will follow.
Viva.
Yeah, it's a viva.
I still remember when I came in first year, I could not for the hell of me understand biochemistry at all. And to a certain extent, it is still late. It shouldn't be like that. But you'll always find some subjects which are not of your particular interest or which you're not able to understand in the first go. Moreover, I would say the subjects that you read in your first and second year, they are very theoretical. And there will come a point where you will not understand why are you reading this thing at all. And trust me, when you'll understand the whys of it, it will be in your fourth year or when you actually start attending clinics. I still remember I never understood why we read so much of anatomy, so much of bone, so much of orientation of each and every muscle, till the time I actually came in 4th year and started maybe reading ortho, maybe doing surgery, the course of the nerves, the course of the arteries, and that's when we actually get to know the importance of these subjects. Now the challenge in the first year is, you have to read those subjects without actually realizing their importance. You just have to trust the course itself that, okay, I am reading my basics now. They will help me in my 4th year or in my internship and in my future years. But these are very base forming years of your life. So the first and second year subjects, especially I would say, don't memorize everything. Like I still remember when I was preparing for my NEET UG, I remembered everything so well, I could pinpoint to the line, to the page and just memorize the lines and say out loud. I read that bio NCERT thing so many times. But when you come here, you'll realize you actually can't do that. That's not the way to go about. In fact, in your first or second read, you'll not even understand half of the bullshit written in the books. No offense to anybody, I'm so sorry. But it's actually true. By the time you'll realize, you'll need a lot of readings, and the best thing is, stay focused in the class. The teachers, whatever they teach you, I still remember the first class, the pace goes too quickly. You won't understand when the first class, a whole chapter got over in one entire 1 hour class. And I was still left in awe. But the thing is, whatever they teach, it's better if you annotate those things in your books. You might not have enough time to make individual notes. I am aware that now you are of that habit of listening to a lecture, maybe attending some coaching, reading the NCERT, reading those notes, and then forming an understanding of your knowledge. Now on, this whole thing, you might not have time to focus with this set pattern with each and every topic that you have. You have to be attentive in your class. Know that, okay, as and when a professor speaks, maybe you didn't understand it, but trust me, the KMC professors are good enough that they will impart some knowledge in you by the end of this class if you listen. And the best thing to go about is just mark your textbooks. If you're into making notes and you can write that fast, well and good. But I would always prefer mark your textbooks so that you're aware what you have to read. It's not important to read each and every line-to-line thing is all I'm trying to reiterate. Don't force yourself to understand everything in the first read itself. As Chirag pointed out, they'll do small discussions, that dissection hall, I know first it is so far, what else? They'll teach you the same thing 3-4 times, and in MBBS, it's best if you discuss it and learn. Like, that's how I feel. You learn something, okay, you are in the dissection hall, see the muscles, talk to each other about those muscles. It's very important. It's a very group effort kind of thing. And you have to get out of the mentality of that, as he said, UG inertia. You have to get out of the competitiveness of scoring and this and that. The scores won't matter now. I'm telling you quite frankly, the scores will not matter for good 3 to 4 years when you have to give an entrance again. Till the time you pass, you understand what you're reading, you understand what you're doing. It's okay if you can't understand the complete, it's okay. No need to memorize it, understand it, and discuss it out. That's the best way to go. Chill out, ease out, and maybe that's the best way forward in my opinion.
If I should summarize what she just said now, more than memorizing, trying to get to the crux of the affair or understanding the concept is what is more important. Common sense is one of the most important aspects for a doctor, and it's not that common actually. So that's what we expect, understand the crux of the subject, the concept of the subject. And next is the most important aspect which I'm here to highlight, and I want it to come from the horse's mouth, and that is, Kushi,
yes, sir.
How is your attendance?
It's a pain in the heart, but no, my attendance is fine. Apart from medicine practical, that is 76, it should be 80.
I'm so glad to hear that. Now, as an institution, we are law-abiding and rules-following organization, and we strictly go by NMC recommendations. And the NMC recommendations is that no matter what, you got to maintain an attendance of 75% in theory and 80% in your practicals, which includes your labs and your clinicals. Now you may come out with a very nice excuse that there was this particular problem or this situation which made you take an extra leave. So the 25% and 20% which we have spared is actually for those unforeseen circumstances. Now tell us about your experience on how you maintain those attendance, and please tell the freshers on the significance of the attendance and the repercussions of what awaits you if there is an issue with the attendance.
It's a very, very apt question because a list of medicine attendance shortage just got released 2 days back. So a very fresh topic. And let me tell you, the list is not small. Like 250 batch, 130 students were on that list who had attendance shortage. And KMC is indeed very strict, take it from me, with respect to attendance. The thing is, you will attend your anatomy, physio, biochem classes as and when they come. At least in the first 3-4 months, you'll show up in every goddamn event that the college puts up. I have been there and I've done that. But the thing comes around that 5-6 months marks when you have a burnout and you don't, and you know, a sort of laziness strikes back. Okay, let's skip this, we'll sleep 1 more hour, this and that, everything happens. At least one good advice that I would give you, you will have something called as non-core classes. These non-core classes are of subjects which are not of that particular year, but of the coming years. For example, in first year, I think you'll have community medicine and forensics, non-core classes. Now, while these non-core classes may not have any benefit to you on that year, like for that year, but the attendance of these classes do get counted in the year that they are a part of. For example, community medicine is a part of 3rd year, but you will have non-core classes starting from 1st year itself. So 1st year, 2nd year, and 3rd year. When I was in my 1st year, a group of seniors told us that there's no need to attend these non-core classes at all. They seriously told us blatantly that it's okay, you leave the classes, this attendance won't get counted anywhere, the marks won't get counted anywhere, and my batch as a whole hasn't had another greatest lie than this. Because the classes that you have, say if you have 100 classes, around 50 or at least 45 will be covered in the 1st and 2nd year itself. So there's no scope of making up for that 45 classes in your 3rd year. So you have to be attentive not only on your main lectures, but also for those non-core subjects. And no matter what your senior batch tells you, please make sure your batch doesn't fool them like what happened with us. But please take it from me, take it from here, that the attendance of the non-core classes are easier if you go and attend right from the beginning rather than from that year itself. Because those classes will be short also. They'll be half an hour, 20 minutes class. Go attend, max 40-45 minutes. Go attend, take 1 class attendance, go and sleep. It's okay. Yeah, that's it.
Right. So
just a second. Now this non-core word, I would request
I was coming to that.
Yes.
I was coming to that. I think Dr. Vinod Nayak and myself are in far better position to guide you people than your seniors when it comes to academics. Trust me on that when I say that. Delete this concept of core and non-core. Because you are going to become an MBBS graduate, all the subjects are important, all the classes are important. You are paying fees for all the classes, hard-earned money of your parents. And I don't want any of you to be at the mercy of faculty trying to persuade them for attendance. It's not a good thing to do at all. So, no core or non-core, all subjects are important. If a first-year student says that surgery is a non-core subject, I would get wild, okay? So I wouldn't want my subject to be considered. The same thing holds good for orthopedic. My dean will get wild, okay? So that's not the way it is. No, nothing called core or non-core. Everything is important. Your job is to attend the classes as per the timetable that has been furnished to you and ensure, aim for 100% attendance. We will accept 95%. Okay?
And even the term non-core now, please make it a point in this batch, please use that, at least your senior batch has started using the term as they've converted that into continuation subjects. Okay, because the term non-core itself sounds a little demeaning, as Prasad sir put it. So that's probably one change that you can start doing. Yeah.
Right. None of your seniors are in curriculum committee of NMC. Trust me. Right? So a mail comes every day, a notice comes every day in NMC website, and we just need to follow that. Okay? So there is no question of seeking advice on should I attend this class or not. No. I don't mind you taking their advice to watch a movie or something. That's entirely your prerogative. But when it comes to academics and classes, right, your faculty or your bosses, you're going to follow their advice and words. Okay? I might sound a little rigid, little bossy, but it has to be that way, right? Do you want to give them any tips on how they can maintain their fine health? I mean, I'm sure Marina is there. Extending the question a little further, you are entirely into a new culture. You might have some problems with the food and stuff related to that. Is that an issue at all? I don't think so. I mean, but I wanted to hear it from you. And lastly, most importantly, was learning Kannada difficult for you? Because at some point of time, you will go to hospital, you will interact with the patients, and when the patients hear you, right, speaking in a bookish language, you might not be able to strike the rapport that you need to. So is that an issue? How did you overcome that? Are there any methods, any shortcuts in that direction?
Coming to the question step by step, a good health, of course, as he prioritized football and Marina a lot. Apart from that, your parents are sitting right behind you today, and trust me, whatever they have said to you till this date, get up early in the morning, go have a bath, have your breakfast, and go attend classes. As simple as, no matter repetitive it may sound, it is effective. Take it from me, it is effective. As somebody who sort of slacked off in second year, I was waking up just 15 minutes before the class, somehow putting up myself and going to the class empty stomach. It's not worth it. When we say health, of course you'll pursue your hobbies, that's there. But how I took about it from my second year, from that slip up, is I used to call my parents when I wake up. It sounds very ridiculous, but it helped me a lot. It's actually better if you wake up 45 minutes to 1 hour before. And no matter how small it may sound, it is a way move forward to get an overall health. You will be fine. You will be fine if you take 15 to 20 minutes less of that sleep and have breakfast instead. Take it from me. Coming to breakfast and food, the mess here has all kinds of food, and it's much better than some of the friends that I've talked to who are in other medical colleges. And even if some days you get bored of the mess, there is a plenty of options available. The mess first floor itself offers a large variety of things, and as such the food is fine, it's healthy. It's, of course, nothing can beat your mother's hands food, and that is there, but it's fine. It's overall, you will get a hang of it. I myself didn't eat a lot of South Indian, but coming here, now when I go back, I in fact converted my parents to having dosas almost every second day. So that was there. Coming to Kannada as a language, it's necessary. The bottom line is you have to learn Kannada in order to talk to patients. This is something you won't understand now because you're in your first year. You'll understand this when you start going to your second year. Now, the one good advantage you have is the patients are kind enough to understand your broken Kannada. At least that is a good thing. You don't need to understand the grammar of the subject. I am a pure North Indian, by the way. None of my parents are from South Indian or my grandparents. So for me to learn Kannada was a challenge. Straight up, it was a challenge. The thing is, you should start learning I say in your first year itself, like talk to the shopkeepers, talk to the akkas that will come to clean your room. If you're in a girls' hostel, akkas, or if you're in a boys' hostel, annas, try to talk to them in 1 or 2 word sentences. That should set you forward. It's okay if you're able to talk to the patient in 4 to 5 sentences, which are not, for example, I'll give you an example. We were taught that to ask what is the chief complaint. The word that we were taught as by the guidebooks and other was Mukhya Tondre Enu. Now the thing is, nobody, even if you were a Hindi speaker, if I say Mukhya Takleef Kya Hai Aapko? Do you think it just feels too grammatical, as a patient also will go 2 steps back, okay. Instead, Tondre Enu. So you don't have to, what's your problem? You don't have to speak the specifics of the language. You just have to understand the patient, understand the crowd, and think yourself, if you are somebody, if somebody doesn't speak Hindi, and they start speaking Shuddh Hindi all of a sudden, it's weird. Even for the patient, it turns out to be a bit weird. It's okay. You can learn main words like pain. Novu is pain. So, novu aita, it's like, do you have pain? Something small 3 to 4 word sentences is good enough to have a start. And you don't need to learn anything and everything. Like numbers, okay, you can know numbers from 1 to 10. But the patients are also educated enough. If you ask them anything, say the words they also understand, like admission, you can straight up use the word admission. Yavaga admission aita, they'll understand it. So it's a task. Of course, it's a task. You will find it's a very tricky question to answer also, because sometimes you will have patients who will get irritated just by the fact that you don't know the language. On the other hand, you'll also have patients who are ready for you to understand. You know, I used to have a friend, I still have. We went to Comet field visits, and he didn't know Kannada by then. And he wanted to ask if you were married or not. And he played Damsharas right there. He did this. And then he meant to ask, in their Aadhaar card, in some card she was written as divorced or something. So he then wanted to ask, is the husband alive? He did this. Imagine, he went to someone's house, a local person's house, and did this. It was like, but I would still say God helped him that day, or that patient didn't throw him off right from his house. But yeah, it's an experience. It's definitely an experience. You'll have stories to tell.
Yeah. So, Kannada is not all that difficult. As she rightly said, the easiest way to learn a language is to try to communicate in that language with people with whom you interact on a day-to-day basis. It could be the auto driver, it could be the person in the hotel. Another easy method to learn a language, as I have seen, is to watch the good movies in that language without watching the subtitles. Maybe at some point of time you will catch up with that. I fondly recollect one of my postgraduates who's now somewhere in Middle East. This gentleman is from Hindi heartland, basically a Bengali, and when I first met him, you know, he was a senior resident. When I first met him, I thought actually he's from a local area. His Kannada and Tulu were so impeccable. So you need to have a flair for language, and if you don't have the flair, well, it's a matter of survival. You need to learn it. Okay? So after that, we have Shreya with us, who is a really multi-talented student, I should say. And she is in a lot of extra academic activities and hobbies and such passions. And I want her to share her thoughts on how you people can strike a balance between academics and extra academics. What do you? Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sriya. I'm an intern currently. And about academics and everything else, why is it really important to have a life beyond academics in medicine is because you need to have a multifaceted personality. As everyone has said this again and again, medicine is a very, very long run. So the best way to enjoy it is to find your life within medicine itself. And for me, it was obviously academics are your priority, but for you to have a personality, have things to look forward to when you're tired, when you're, it's heavy. You obviously are going to reach a breaking point, and that's when you'll have to have things that you can look forward to. And that is why it's important to not just inculcate habits, but also genuinely have a life beyond medicine. And how to strike this balance is by two things. One is prioritizing, and the second is improving your efficiency in studying itself. Let's talk about both of those. Prioritizing in the sense, every day you have a task list, all right? And in this task list, your basic activities, which is getting up, taking a bath, everything should take priority. And your second priority as a medical student should be studies. Now, whatever other spaces you have space for one other activity in that particular day. You don't have to do all your interests in a single day itself. If on Monday I feel like going for singing practice, I'll go for singing practice. On Tuesday, I'll go hit the gym. On Wednesday, I'll go do some art. Something like that. Not every day can be a day where you're able to manage to do everything, but every week can, or every month can. And that's what you cannot put too much pressure on yourself to be, if you're someone who bears multiple talents, or if you're someone who is interested in multiple things, you can't do all of those every single day. And the way you can improve your efficiency, as I said, you'll have to have academics as one of your priority every day. That doesn't mean that you'll have to sit and study for 2 hours, 3 hours every day. It can be something as simple as attending class, being present physically and most importantly mentally, because properly attending class can actually help you get a head start in that particular topic by at least 50 to 60%, right? So that improves your efficiency in studying. So attending class and finishing off that topic on the same day itself. So when I do that, I might be studying for 30, 40 minutes a day on some days. But at the end of the year, I will not be stressed that I have so much syllabus to cover because I've already done it in parts and parts throughout the year. So one thing that has completely helped me throughout MBBS and has given me results is consistency. Consistency in having discipline, consistency in studying a little every single day. And the best part is that if you're someone who practices an art, who practices music or anything of that sort, the discipline that that art form gives you can be applied to your academics, and you can flourish so much more medically when you do so. So yes, there are so many clubs here. You will actually be baffled when you go down and see the number of clubs and committees that are there here that you can use to further enhance your interests. And I had the luck to be a part of multiple of these clubs throughout my MBBS, and they have shaped me as a person. Manipal, this institution, has shaped me as a person. So now I have so many things to talk about, so many experience, and so many things that I've learned which can't be taught by books. So yes, please utilize all the resources that you have here. Be efficient in the way you study, attend classes, listen to classes, study on the same day, finish the topic the same day, and listen to everything that Khushi said about academics. I'm sorry if our batch told you that something as non-core exists, but non-core doesn't exist. And honestly, studying these subjects, the continuation subjects, throughout second and third year has given me so much more time in fourth year to pursue my other interests, because now all those topics have already been covered by me earlier. So yes, everything, your schedule, your curriculum is set in such a way that you are not going to burn out. So I would really request you guys to follow that. And yes, that's it, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. So, bottom line, consistency and discipline is what she's highlighting, and quite rightly so. The last issue that I would want to bring forth here is from Professor Vinod Nayak. We all go through this particular thing. It is the burden of expectation, right? Classic example is our famous cricketers, the burden of entire country on them. That results in, hampering of their performance. As students, you will face the burden of expectations from your family, your friends, and maybe perhaps even from your faculty. And that occasionally may result in setbacks and failures. Now, these are all serious issues. Would you like to share your thoughts on that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think I'll just quickly give some gyan, probably from whatever little experience I carry. Yesterday also, I was speaking to a couple of students with their parents. There are going to be expectations, definitely a lot of expectations. In fact, yesterday also when I was talking to the students, I saw that, parents, engineers, both of them, or some other profession, and the wards are doctors. They said they are the first in the family, and you're an endangered species, You will have expectations, absolutely no doubt about it. Because people, once you're into med school, believe me, your relatives especially, family, yes, your parents, yes, but relatives also. You would be probably asked to treat everything right away, from your grandmom's arthritis to your neighbor's cat's depression, probably, everything under the sun. But then, to the parents, I would request, kindly go easy on the students, because they've already proven their worth. They're already here. They've already entered med school, which means they've done something really big in life. They've achieved something great in life. But please remember, they've done all of this in the in supportive ecosystems that they were in. They were in their houses, comfort of their houses. They were surrounded by you, the parents, and they've achieved this. So they would need to do much more than what they have done, not in the comfort of all these, this sort of environment. So they need to adjust here. So kindly go easy on your kids. Make sure you don't burden them with, absolutely unrealistic expectations. So that's something that I would like to tell the parents. And from the students' point of view also, please make sure that, I know, I was talking to some of them yesterday and I could see great enthusiasm, They want to do everything all at once. That's great. I mean, that's going to be there. That spirit it's definitely going to be there at the start, But then you go easy on yourself as well. That's very, very important. Talk to your parents, It's very important to talk to your parents because you need to tell them that it's not all about Grey's Anatomy, It can be Grey's anxiety as well. We've seen that. So that's something that you need to remember. Talk to them and be realistic. That's something that I would like to also tell. Keep small, achievable goals and go forward. Don't take everything onto yourself. Don't overwhelm yourself. You'll achieve everything in due course of time, that's for sure. All are going to go out as great doctors, as great professionals. But go easy on yourself now until you at least get used to the atmosphere, the new atmosphere. Celebrate small things, celebrate small wins. You don't skip breakfast today. It's a big achievement. You absolutely. So all would agree with me. You don't cry for a week. It's an achievement probably. You find your ID card before the rounds. It's an achievement. I mean, you please celebrate these small wins. You make sure that you heal yourself. You're going to heal others. Heal yourself first. That's something which I feel is very, very important. Failure is, it's not a verdict, right? So kindly go easy on yourself. And one thing I always want to tell you, don't compare yourself to anybody. Avoid comparison. You're unique. You are you. Doesn't mean that somebody else has finished the entire textbook. Doesn't mean that they understand it, right? So it's very important to know what you are, what your strengths are, and very, very important to make sure that you set achievable goals for yourself going forward. That way, I think you could probably do justice to yourself. Of course, due course of time, we'll interact and probably share a lot more. That's, I think.
Nicely put. So, in essence, try to win small battles. Eventually, you will win the war. The speaker, the student who spoke on sports was mentioning about Bannister, the first man who ran a mile race within 4 minutes. Right? That was a big achievement. The way he went about it is he divided a mile into 4 parts and he practiced to run each of those quarters within a minute, and eventually summed it up and covered the distance in 4 minutes. So it was a famous find between an agricultural graduate called John Landy and a neurosurgeon who eventually became neurosurgeon called Roger Bannister. So adopt the same policy, take one day at a time, eventually you will be there. And with that, we come to the conclusion of this panel discussion. Ishika, are you feeling any better? Have you gotten down off the roller coaster, or are you still there up? So I hope that we have addressed most of the concerns. In the coming foundation days, the remaining of your concerns will also be addressed, and when the mentor-mentee interactions happen, most of your concerns will be addressed. And this panel discussion, this is a repetition of a lot of things that was told earlier, and a lot of things that were discussed now will be repeated again tomorrow. But why is it that we did this? This is Gen Z speaking to Gen Z, okay? So that makes more sense. I'm an old man with gray beard. If I say something, I'm bookish. My generation, there was no orientation program. Take your Cunningham, go to dissection hall and get on with your work used to be the lifestyle. But that's not the situation now, okay? So coming from them, I hope that it calms your nerves, it gives you certain direction, and it helps you in settling down easily for this medical course. I wish you all the best and look forward to interacting with you people in the coming days. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, and dear students, for the wonderful panel discussion. As they've rightly summed it up, I think all your concerns are very genuine. Your thoughts and your fears are very genuine. We acknowledge that, and they're just telling you how they have overcome that. And I'm sure all of you will be able to do so. So do not worry. Take it slow, take one day at a time, and it will all be fine. So now I invite Dr. Seema Rao, Director, Manipal Hospice and Respite Center, to address our students and their parents. We will also play a video on the MHRC.
In the quiet town of Manipal, a place of healing and hope has taken.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Manipal. Yeah, so I will speak about a center that is part of Manipal Academy of Higher Education, which is a social impact project of MAHE. It's called as Manipal Hospice and Respite Center. It has about 100 beds, and in the center we provide hospice care, we provide respite care and end-of-life care for patients and families who are dealing with advanced terminal illnesses, right? Like probably cancer, renal failure, or any of those diseases that you see which is incurable, right? Since September 1st, we have opened the doors for patients and their families, and we provide comfort, care, and dignity when life becomes very difficult and when they have to cope with a lot of distress. And in MHRC, it is not just about medical care. The medical team walks alongside the families, easing their pain and suffering, bringing peace and helping patients live well until the very end. And when we look at it, we believe that every life matters, right? And that is the ethos of MHRC. So we'll show you a small video about what the center is, how it looks, and today evening you will be visiting us there. Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for providing the overview. We will all be taking you at 4 p.m. to the MHRC for a tree sapling program. Students, along with their parents, are welcome for the tree sapling program. So, and this venue for this would be at MHRC. So, we're just providing you the overview of this Manipal Hospice and Respite Center. We'll play a video, short video about the center.
In the quiet town of Manipal, a place of healing and hope has taken root. A place not born from brick and mortar alone, but from empathy, compassion, and the profound belief that every human being deserves dignity, comfort, and quality, even in their final moments. Welcome to the Manipal Hospice and Respite Center, a first-of-its-kind initiative in India, where science meets soul and care continues when cure is no longer possible. Across India, millions suffer silently in their final days, without relief, without comfort, and often without choice. With over 96% of people experiencing pain and suffering at the end of life, and less than 4% receiving effective relief, we face a moral imperative. Families grow poorer under mounting health costs, only to see their loved ones die in ICUs, far from home, far from peace. It was time for a change. The Manipal Hospice and Respite Center, a philanthropic initiative by the Manipal Academy of Higher Education, is that change. It envisions a world where dying is not feared, but met with understanding, comfort, and love. Where communities embrace life, limiting illness with courage, and every person receives a good death, regardless of illness, background, or ability to pay. At MHRC, hospice care is holistic and human. Here, a multidisciplinary team of doctors, nurses, counselors, volunteers provides not only medical care, but emotional, spiritual, and psychological support. Pain is relieved. Wounds are tended. Conversations are held with warmth and honesty. Patients and families are guided through end-of-life transitions with dignity, privacy, and the power to choose where and how they wish to spend their final days. Respite care at MHRC supports those who continue to live with advanced illness, adults and children alike. Whether it's unresolved symptoms, caregiver burnout, or the need for physical and emotional rehabilitation, MHRC offers rest, renewal, and relief. It empowers families, bridges gaps in care and communication, and walks beside each patient and caregiver, one step at a time. More than a place of care, MHRC is also a center of learning and advocacy. From short courses in palliative care to community awareness programs and advanced training for healthcare professionals, it is building the future of compassionate care. Through advocacy for opioid availability, advanced care planning, and research, MHRC seeks not just to serve, but to transform how we approach life, death, and everything in between. Each year, thousands of lives in this region will find solace here. Patients of all ages, with cancer and non-cancer conditions alike. From adults with cancer to the elderly with dementia, from trauma survivors to children with rare genetic conditions, every story is honored. Every life, no matter how short or long, is held with care. Our aim is to ease the financial burden, foster family resilience, and build a more compassionate community. All patients cared in this facility and their families are supported with absolutely no cost, and all services provided here are completely free. The ethos of MHRC is simple but profound: compassion, care.
Thank you, madam, and for the nice video on the MHRC. With this, we come to the end of the morning session of Med Orient. We will break for lunch now. Before we break for lunch, I have a few quick announcements. Lunch will be served at Dr. TMA Pai Hall 1, that is in the first floor. So the lunch is served for all parents and students in the first floor. The post-lunch session will start at 1 p.m. 1 p.m. sessions are done separately for parents and students. We have a mental health wellness session organized in the third floor for parents and in the second floor for students. So after lunch, please proceed accordingly. Parents will come to the same hall here and students will go to second floor. After the mental health wellness session, we will have the mentor-mentee interaction, which will all be done in the first floor. So the numbers from registration numbers from 1 to 164 will move to Dr. TMA Pai Hall 1 between 2 to 3 p.m. So I hope all of you are aware of your registration numbers. If in doubt, there will be volunteers who will help you with that. So registration numbers 1 to 164 will move to Dr. TMA Pai Hall 1 at 2 p.m. for your mentor-mentee interaction. 3 students have been allotted 1 mentor, and parents and students will meet the mentors together. And we have a documenter, we have certain details that will be documented, and you can ask all your questions and any doubts that you have. From 3 to 4 p.m., the mentor-mentee interaction will be for registration numbers 165 onwards. And the mentor-mentee interaction happens in the first floor. So what does the rest of the batch do while one batch is doing the mentor-mentee? So we have this next generation student club stalls that have been put up that we discussed all along in the morning. So these stalls are put up in the second floor. So while the 1 to 164 registration numbers are with the mentors, the rest of the batch will visit these stalls which are placed in the second floor of Dr. TMA Pai Hall, and then we swap. Is that clear? One half of the batch does the mentor-mentee, the second batch goes to the stalls, and after you finish visiting the student club stalls that are put up in the second floor, you will continue to meet your mentors in the first floor. After we finish both these sessions, at 4 p.m., we want all of you to move downstairs near the fountain, wherein we have vehicles arranged for you to, to take all of you to the MHRC for the tree sapling program. So students and the parents, so volunteers will be there to guide you, and buses are made available, so we will take you there for the tree sapling program. While you move out of this hall, we have certain registration forms kept there, which is for an iBus Wi-Fi internet connection. Students or parents can please fill up these forms, which is at the entrance of this hall. If you fill up that forms, you will be provided free internet, Wi-Fi in your hostels. So please make sure that you fill up those forms while you go for lunch. And this Wi-Fi is free and is available in your hostels. We will begin the foundation course from tomorrow. All the students are requested to assemble at Dr. TMA Pai Hall 1, where you're actually moving in for your mentor-mentee interaction. So Dr. TMA Pai Hall 1 is where your foundation course will start from tomorrow at 8 a.m. And after all the detailed panel discussion, I think we have emphasized enough on attendance. So 8 a.m. sharp, the sessions will start, and your attendance will be taken at 8 a.m. We have 2 sessions between 9:30 to 1 tomorrow on cybersecurity and mentalism, for which the parents who are free and are on campus are welcome to attend along with the students. 1 session on cybersecurity and 1 on mentalism between 9:30 to 1 p.m. From the afternoon onwards, the sessions are exclusively for students. The forenoon sessions, the 2 sessions, the parents could join their wards. And tea and snacks will be provided during the foundation course, but students will have to make own arrangements for lunch. So please be aware of that. 1 to 2 p.m. would be your lunch break from tomorrow, and you can go back to your hostels and have lunch. Do you have any queries or questions? I know these were not quick announcements. These were very lengthy announcements and a lot of instructions. But for today, you're all in these halls, in the same building. So if any questions or queries, we have volunteers around and they will help you out. Okay? Please go have a good lunch. Thank you.
What is it in life that inspires you?
This way, please.
One thing that I would like to gain is practical experience, not just theory. And most importantly, to be able to do something in my life that would be able to change other people's lives.